you think I should wait a little bit before I do the intro? Well,
Not very long at all, hopefully. We need to speed this thing through.
all right, I'll start in a minute. Welcome, everybody, to the 9th Otherworld tournament. I'll be your host and co-commentator for today, Multi. We're starting a little bit later than usual, but no worries. We'll be getting into the matches as soon as possible. With me is my co-commentator and also fellow tournament organizer for this event, Psyker.
Hello, everybody. I apologize for the inconvenience we have today, and hope we can get a smooth and fun tournament tonight. Let's get right down to it.
Normally, this is the part where I would start playing that website that we have, No Life Radio, but starting with this tournament, we're actually introducing custom music downloaded by myself and being able to be played and viewed through the stream. Check it out. There we go. Pretty nice, huh? Yeah. Fabled, you're my man. Thank you so much for all the help getting this thing to work. All right. Before we get started with the matches, I will very quickly go over the rules for this tournament. As it's a CAC tournament, there's going to be plenty of different rules compared to regular cast. So let's just get right into it as soon as possible. We're going to be looking at a double elimination best-of-3 tournament. Less people coming in from last time, so we have plenty of time for people to still have a chance to make it to Grands despite losing maybe one match. Created characters only, so no regular casts, no mentor characters. This is purely, with one exception, purely just the created characters that you can make, also known as CACs. The only stage allowed is Supreme Kaya World. We're on a 5-minute timer, limits off, levels enabled, on an endless lobby. As it's a CAC tournament, we're also looking at plenty of different bans to avoid over-centralizing strategies or just broken things that work exceptionally well online. Don't go all out, stamina drain, that's really easy. I'm neither Kami nor Piccolo now, renewable health regeneration. Zudo buffing grabs even more. Very well, I shall return time. Very easy to just camp, get your health back super without much effort. Renewable health. Time for another delightful hunt for a glitch that when the match starts, it destroys your stamina. These are advanced skills as well. Newly, Namek Finger and I-Beam. And also these combinations. I know. Also, when it comes to presets, our contestants came in, they had 3 options. They could either start out with 3 CACs, 1 preset each, 1 CAC with 3 presets, or 2 presets of the same CAC and 1 other CAC. The only difference being that you can switch between different CACs only when you lose. And also the most important rule, all the contestants are dead. This is the Otherworld tournament. Wear a halo. Alright, so without further ado, we can get started with the first match. Who's up first?
It should be Edgy and Pocky, so let's get right into it.
Alright. So, as I mentioned, CAC tournaments, they're a whole different beast than what we've seen previously from regular tournament, with cast characters and mentors. What do you think is the biggest difference that our viewers might have to watch out for?
Well, we did have a CAC tournament earlier this year, so I expect a bit of a repeat of that. Like, we've seen increase in male Earthlings. We've seen an increase in evasive tactics in general. So, after image, backflip, we could see a return of that. We still have Thank You Dragon Balls as a complex ban. We should probably be seeing them being. We can see the presets of a few contestants that they are carrying it, and of course, we had the I-beams are the defining move of the 8th Otherworld tournament. So probably we'll have something similar happening this time around with well, it remains to be seen, right? But there's a few moves that are in lots of people's presets. There's Jump Spike, there's Saturday Crash, there's Beard Stab, so, some moves just making appearances here and there. Jump Spike definitely the most present, so I would definitely be one to watch out for that.
Alright, looks like our contestants are here and ready to start. Let's begin. So let's take this time to check out what CACs these two contestants are packing today. Okay.
Eiji is bringing his female Saiyan, and Pocky is bringing his male Saiyan, so a Saiyan battle here right now.
This is the red outfit, so we're going to be looking at a very Ribrianne styled setup, it looks like. Lovely Cyclone, pretty cannon, potential unleashed, main burst, which very good against punishing limit burst, right?
Yeah, very true. Though it has the caveat of you having to be able to face your opponent, so if you do it away from them, you will not punish any bursts. And Pocky already starts off looking at quite a bit of stamina here. Eiji with a clear advantage in neutral, and Pocky just can't seem to get in.
On his male Saiyan, he's running Thank You Dragon Balls as well as Super Key Explosion, a formidable combination, not quite banned, didn't quite make the cutoff there, but also Dragon Burn, so if it comes down to it, he's definitely able to turn around a losing neutral in his favor.
Very true, very true. And the thing to watch out for, Moti, in the reason Super Key Explosion isn't banned as a combination with Thank You Dragon Balls is the fact that you can punish it very heavily. And Eiji, with the damage that female Saiyans are able to dish out, might just be able to do that if Pocky tries to do a just random Key Explosion to trigger the effects.
Dangerous situation here. Will we see a limit burst from Pocky? There's the Ribrianne ultimate, and it missed. Oh, the floor saved him.
Wow, it just instantly vanishes with the floor. An unfortunate situation too. Now Pocky has all his stamina back, and Eiji situation not looking great.
Oh, but a very good idea to use the back hits to avoid the worst of Dragon Bird getting out of its effective range.
Yes, very much so. And they will exchange some P-blocks, but this is definitely not in Edge's favor. And he'll get broken, but let's see if Pocky can do any punish off of this.
Oh, and the Thank You Dragon Balls to regen his health as he's punishing Edgy for the break.
Will not accrue a lot of damage with that because of Ribrianne Super Soul. It decreases the damage, the first ultimate that's thrown upon you. So Edgy might still have a least in life here. He has a health burst with that soul, so this is not clear at all. Like, Pocky definitely has the advantage, but Eiji could make a huge comeback here if he managed to win a few interactions.
CACs in this game, I mean, they have so many options here. When it comes to Edgy in particular, it's tough to say, but in most cases, creative characters can easily have taken back that health lead, but in this case, no. We see Pocky, first point of the tournament.
Yeah, Edgy just not limit bursting at all. An interesting decision. I guess he didn't feel like he had a good opportunity in multi.
It's worth noting that Pocky has 2 presets of his male Saiyan, which means that he's freely able to switch between them, even though he's won this match. He just can't switch to his male Earthling.
Correct. That is totally correct. I do not believe his presets are vastly different. Oh, I suppose they are actually. His other preset is carrying irritating little pass, so it's a bit of more damage-oriented preset. So let's see what he will stick with and what he thinks will make the biggest difference in bringing him the victory right now.
Okay, a change up of preset from both contestants.
Correct. Like I said before, that preset for the most hand, Pocky, is bringing Irritating Little Pass, which increases the damage super attacks will dish out. And, wow, it's definitely a lot of damage to watch out for. Edgy, on the other hand, I believe
A lot of advantages that this yellow preset seems to have over the previous one, namely Burst Kamehameha and Spirit Stab.
Oh, he has the rare, this is a real Kamehameha, so those Burst Kamehamehas and also times 10 Kamehameha, which seems to have, will be dealing a lot of hurt. So this is definitely a very damage-oriented match we're seeing right now.
Oh, out come this Shirting Fist singular loop into the Super God Fist. Irritating Little Pest, getting them extra damage just for each one of those neutral wins.
Yes, exactly. And Edgy gets off the Super Vegeta there, transformation, and we don't see that very often, especially not without any form of punish, but he managed to set it up. And those neutral burst Kames managed to attack Spocky.
Pocky's Chaos Wall into the chase and Super God Fist is wow.
Yeah, we don't see Chaos Wall often at all. It's a bit of an unreliable evasive, some would say. And it's also a 3-bar evasive, worth noting, so he's definitely going through a lot of his stamina just to set that up, but it seems to be working for him. Edge is confidently on the ropes right now.
Wow, using that Super Supreme Kai Time Super as like a sort of like reminds me of what is it, Genocide Shell?
Yeah, Genocide Shell, very true. Yeah, that move is usually used as a worse version of Confusion Blade, but it's definitely not. Oh, AG managed to get the clash there and might get a chance to
Spirit Stab
stamina.
saving him once again.
This could be his great chance to turning this. Yeah.
Oh, the heavy break.
He gets the break.
And the perfect Kamehameha.
This is it?
Yeah.
This is it.
Edgy.
God damn.
Taking it back.
1-1, and you seriously cannot underestimate the damage female Saiyans are able to dish out, man. They're the highest key blast damage as well as the highest strike damage with Super Saiyan. So it's definitely scary if you get broken by one.
With Pocky losing this particular round, he goes into... he has the ability to now change his CAC to his male Earthling.
That is correct. That would make for a very interesting... I'm not sure if it's necessary at all, but maybe he sees strategic value in just bringing his male Earthling for the subsequent matches. And we'll have to see what he decides to go with right now. I believe the damage-oriented Irritating Little Pest actually came back to bite him, and there he goes into his Earthling.
An interesting Super Soul that he's running. I got my claws in you and Fangs too. It's a Super Soul that buffs you depending on hitting, landing, charged heavies. Something that male Earthlings excel in.
Yes, very much so. Earthlings already have their game plan completely focused on landing those charge heavies off of their light heavy string upkick, as it's famously known, and well, it's just an extension of this game plan, right? And, and he's sporting another 3-bar evasive here, Vanisher Guard. Not very common, maybe prior to the 2-bar evasive change, but he's definitely managed to make it work. And Edgy already on the stamina deficit and on the health deficit, and just he's back against the wall right now.
Oh, a little bit of weirdness.
A little bit of a desync. Yeah. Unfortunate circumstance here.
Let's check to see if it comes back.
Yeah. We might be looking at rerun here, Multi.
Yes, we are.
Oh. Communication error. Do we know who disconnected?
Let's see.
Oh, it's Bulky. Do we have any notice from contestant Bulky? Oh, the PC crushed for him. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we should ask Edgy if he wants to take the win or not, because the match was already well underway, so it's definitely not a first expense to just rerun this from the start like that.
Especially after our...
Yeah, especially after our extreme delay in starting this tournament at all. Oh. Okay, we have Edge's decision. He wants to rerun that match. Will not take the advancing round from Palky's Crash, and we might see our third and final match between these two players.
Oh, wow. Surprising choice, but fair enough. Even if he decides to take the advance, Palky wouldn't necessarily be out of the tournament, considering that we still have the losers bracket coming up right after the winners finish up.
Very true. We have a suggestion from Felix to just move on with the next match. Yes. And Palky is still not on Steam, so it's a question if we should wait for this contestant or just move on to the next match and revisit this. Can't you? Palky said he's coming back as quick as he can, but oh, he's on Steam now. So yeah, we shall wait and just resume the final round for this first match of the tournament. Few hiccups, but it should be good.
All right.
So what do you think about the match so far, Multi? These two contestants, 1-1.
I was really impressed by Pocky's Earthling combos. It seemed that he was definitely in the know about making use out of Key Blast Cannon to extend his combos, being careful about his light heavies, generally playing safe. What I thought was interesting, and I should take a look at his set just to be safe, just so I know what I'm looking at. Making use out of his Super Soul, I got my Claws in You and Fangs too. If I recall correctly, that boosts your melee attacks, right?
I believe that's correct. I'll bring up the stat sheet for the Super Souls. But yeah, it's very true. Just making use of all the synergies that my Earthlings get with those souls that activate on charged heavies.
And then
or charge attacks in general.
Making full use out of it, getting more mileage out of Sledgehammer, Soaring Fist, and Time Skip Molotov, the latter of which Earthlings have a remarkably easy way of comboing into. But anyhow,
yes, very true.
Our contestants are back. Let's see how this happens. Fun choice of him to choose Vanisher Guard. We saw how it could easily, allowed him to take being comboed and turn it into himself comboing, just with one revolving step.
Yes. I think this is a good first match, but if I think about this right now, I'm actually looking forward to the next match, which whoever wins between these two players is moving on to fight Felix. Who do you believe has the advantage there?
Ooh. When it comes to, I'll have to check Felix's characters to be sure, but given that, we know for sure Pocky has his male Earthling, I'm inclined to give the advantage to him, partly because he has slightly more health, partly because he has slightly more stamina, but I just really think he has a solid game plan.
Yeah, Pocky's understanding of the game definitely seems very solid, and we start over here with him getting
ooh, gnarly.
A nice chunk of health ripped out of him by the times 10 Kamehameha. Definitely a situation not looking too good.
There's Super Soul activating.
One interesting feature about the Super Soul multi is that not only does it boost strike by 15% when it triggers, but it also boosts speed, which is a significant factor, has been in previous tournaments so far. So now Pocky's neutral might be improved by the fact that he has 20% more speed with those two stacks.
Now we see our contestants kind of moving around each other, seeing, okay, who can get some lucky neutral specials in. But Pocky seems to win an interaction, nailing some more Surging Fist loops.
Yeah, those Soaring Fist loops are dastardly. You just gotta watch out for those. So much damage and very easy to just stack on there.
Edgy in a precarious position. We haven't seen Edgy Limit Burst, have we?
I don't think we have seen either of these contestants Limit Burst, correct me if I'm wrong, but, well, not that Pocky had needed to in the first match, but he definitely did not in the second either. Now, you could attribute that to maybe he didn't get a good chance, but I think these two contestants are just content to follow a gentleman's agreement, perhaps, of not using their bursts.
Oh man, they fell just out of the range of the Surging Fist.
Yeah, Soaring Fist is one of those moves that it might patch the weaknesses involved in strike moves, where they usually lack a lot of range. But Soaring Fist, despite having greater range than most strike supers, it still has very limited range compared to just Key Blast supers that you can snipe people with from across the map.
Oh man, speaking of very limited things, his health, super scarce.
Yeah, and the dash heavy into the backflip will just seal it. And Pocky just playing safe to the end, advances to round 2.
Pocky, taking the set. No worries to Edgy, however, he will have the ability to keep competing in the loser's bracket.
Fair, correct. Okay, moving on to the next match, we should be having Fabled Enigma versus Blades of Might. these two contestants, they interact a lot in both the server and I believe the Switch server as well. And I'm very interested to see. I don't think we've seen them in tournament play against each other in recent memory. So, what do you expect out of this match, Multi?
Psyker and I have actually had the opportunity to practice with Fabled pretty consistently throughout the week leading up to this tournament. And we definitely saw a large amount of growth coming from Fabled's play, including his builds. Making use out of some dastardly loops and other strategies for both Male Saiyan and Male Earthling.
Yes, correct. A big strategy in this tournament has been the fact that Spirit Stab and Static Crash both seal bursts, and they're very easy to loop into. So we should be seeing that employed by Fabled here and potentially by other contestants throughout the tournament.
Worth noting as well that Fabled Saiyan, I'm pretty sure it's a Saiyan, both of them, both of the sets, they have access to Jump Spike, not banned from this tournament. Will we be able to see him nailing neutral jump spikes in this match or in this set, considering that Blades himself plays hit a lot?
Yeah, that is very possible. Also, a factor to keep in mind is the connection between these two contestants. It's definitely not the worst, but it's also not the greatest when you consider it's an NA versus EU situation. And something else to consider is that on two of his characters, Blades is also bringing the time skip jump spike, so this might be an even matchup in terms of that.
Let's see what they start with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Fable decides to open up with Circling, and well, an interesting look for him. It's a Key Blast oriented Earthling, and it does not carry Jump Spike at all. Blaze, on the other hand, going for the female Majin.
And the raw God League might.
Yeah, that's the Master Super Soul, just cheeky. You don't run out of ki for the first portion of the match, and the move just keeps going, but Fable managed to just evade all of it. And
as an Earthling, hey, he's perfectly okay with just step vanishing around and regenerating his ki.
Yeah, it's very much true. And that will benefit in the long run with those very neutral safe supers. You see an Energy Wave combo tossed out there, and it's just very hard to punish and very easy to get tagged by.
Oh, comboed into the jump spike.
Something you don't see very often for any CAC race. You just see those neutral jump spikes and combo into the Boo Boo Punch as well, but sadly the knockback in the later portion of the move will drop.
Despite winning neutral quite a couple of times, we find Blades at a stamina deficit. And low stamina is not a place you want to be at as a Majin, no matter the gender.
Yeah, it's very true. Female Majins, people have figured out how to deal with them for a long time now, so you just don't want to break them at all. Just keep their stamina low. And Fable definitely has the supers to make a huge health, a huge impact on Blade's health without giving him any stamina back. Handy Cannon, Saturday Crash, all those moves will loop and not let you regain much stamina at all. Don't put you in juggle whatsoever.
I love how they, at least for a lot of the match before now, they trade evasives so that they can just get right back into neutral as soon as possible. Or probably,
yeah, very true.
It's just a means for them to not have to worry about getting knockback comboed and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing here, though, is that Fable finds himself at a stamina disadvantage for a lot of that match, and now he has traded some of his health back for some stamina, but it's not looking great for him. Those combos into Jump Spike could seal the deal very quickly if he doesn't watch out.
Fortunately, back it helps him keep the combo going. Oh, narrowly saving him from his evasive, narrowly saving him from another Jump Spike.
Yeah, that's very true. And Blaze is just going for those. He has the attack burst, which of course comes with the irritating little pass. So now he'll be dishing out a lot of damage, but not a lot of stamina regen for him on the board right now.
Uh-oh.
So he
Here it is. Very fortunately, he had
can he win
stamina.
neutral one more time? No, he cannot. He flies straight into the armor from Boo Boo Punch, and that will be Blades taking round 1. Very close match. So, if you're Fable right now, Multi, what do you think? Do you stick with that Earthling, maybe that you're not as prepared with, or do you switch to the Saiyan, which might have a weaker neutral, especially versus female Majins, all things considered, but you just have a lot of experience with and a lot of synergies going on?
For sure, I might say that I would want to have the Saiyan by virtue of how much I practice with him, but I think a lot of that match might have come down to staying out of situations where you can be comboed into so much damage. Having that knowledge of being able to get him within a low amount of stamina and then hit him up with Saturday crashes. I mean, he could have sealed that match right there, but he, Blaze was able to vanish it. If I were him, I might have been able to look a little bit closer at that. Funnily enough, Blaze is actually doing the exact same thing again. I guess he's trying to see if he can get lucky.
Managed to tag him a little bit, but does not finish off the ult. And Fable just trying to get some perfect blocks in there, get some chance to win neutral. Blaze will not give it to him, but also won't get anything out of that ult.
Future
We're
Super
seeing
Saiyan,
now,
exceptionally
Future
safe.
Super Saiyan. Not only safe, but it will be increasing Fable's stamina regen throughout the match, so it's very beneficial to just pop the transformation early, and thankfully he got the key to do so. Colliding with that lovely Cyclone, yeah, just a very dangerous move that you gotta respect sometimes.
And here we see, actually this is a pretty good idea, because Fabled is making use out of Pycon's Burning Shot, because having a knockaway and then nailing some damage and then using it, you can't vanish that, so you kind of have to evasive unless you want to eat not too much damage, but given his Super Soul, a reasonable amount.
Yeah, it's very true. And one interesting thing to note from Burning Shot is that it combos off of Spirit Explosion. So Fable tries to go for it there, just tack on some damage, but Blades gets the self-break and does not get punished for it. Fable's situation not looking good right now.
Yeah, total turn of the tables there. The raw jump spikes ain't working out.
Yeah, he's just trying to go for those, and he did say he is trying to be smart about when he uses them, that it's, considered not a super skillful move, but just trying to use it skillfully.
And the evasive trading paying off yet again.
Yeah, that evasive just very nasty to deal with. Oh, but he gets it, and the health situation not looking too different between these two contestants. And catches the stab vanish. Unfortunate situation, and Fable might be looking here at his back against the wall, pops the limit burst. I agree with this decision, considering that, but the backwards hitbox of Boo Boo Punch, unfortunate for contestant Fable. He will drop down to loser's bracket.
Well done to the contestants. We saw a lot of play around their stamina, knowing, okay, if I use my evasive and just, trade with his, I'll still be in the stamina lead, whatnot.
Right.
Okay, I can just, be really safe against his, let's see. Yeah, I know. We can be really safe against his, against his jump spikes. We didn't see too much of him stuffing it with the key stuns, but I think that's what they're going for after each clash, to hit himself with a key stun just in case the other person goes for a jump spike.
Yeah, it's very true.
I was impressed by the play.
Right now we have Z-Wolf and the Super Itachi. It's actually Creamy, but he asked us to call him that, so we will oblige. And we'll be seeing here some Earthling on Earthling play from these two contestants, both from Europe. One from Germany, the other from Switzerland. A very good connection and a long history of them fighting each other in tournaments. So, who do you give the advantage to here, Moti?
I want to say, as a human being, with a brain, I'm inclined to say, oh my god, easily Super Itachi. I'm sitting down and yet my knees are still touching the floor. That's how, in awe at this man I am.
Exactly.
But
absolutely,
we definitely can't count out, Z-Wolf, an exceptional player in his own right. I'm really excited to see what he can do with a CAC because I haven't seen him play with one for quite a bit.
Yeah, very true. We don't see Z-Wolf taking part in CAC tournaments that enthusiastically, at least. But this time, he is very much involved, and we'll be seeing here what those two contestants might bring to the table. Keep in mind that this is a very important tournament for both Felix and Super Itachi because these two players are head-to-head in their regular tournaments course. So whoever accrues the most points goes farther in this tournament will be getting the opportunity to lead a team in the Universal Tournament. So we should be paying extra close attention to this match and see if Z-Wolf managed to pull the upset here.
One of my least favorite things is having to look through Z-Wolf's male Earthling stats, because it's the same character and the exact same getup, Brazil Man, but just with different presets. We see him throwing out the Pearl Flash, showing that he also has access to Super God Fist, Savage Strike, Soaring Fist. Soaring Fist, really popular this tournament.
Soaring Fist, Pearl Flash we're seeing from both contestants as well, and a very dastardly move we saw and that early Justice combination might be putting Z-Wolf here on a terrible situation right now. But the Thank You Dragon Balls managed to activate it very safely with Fu's ultimate, Remote Serious Bomb. Just as I say that though, his stamina situation already looking pretty grim, but at least he'll get some health back from his effort.
Whoa! What was that?
That was Savage Strike, I believe? But just raw like that, very interesting.
The potential unleashed, saving him from the worst of the Pearl Flash, tossing out that very exceptional ultimate, Destructive Fissure.
Yeah, and you have to watch out for that, especially in face of those jump spikes as well. You do not want to be caught by that ball, but Z-Wolf very smartly just false triggers it and just lets it blow up. And now Super Itachi just trying to get those jump spikes, those Pearl Flashes, and managed to do so quite nicely, getting some great damage in neutral.
A burst from Super Itachi. Clearly he doesn't need it.
He will limit burst. The Justice combination will break their stamina, and Z-Wolf, this is the first match. At first I thought Z-Wolf would get positive out of that because he false confirmed the Spirit Sword, so maybe he could get a good chunk of damage or even stamina damage with that slash right there, but his stamina was quite low and I didn't notice it, and I believe Z-Wolf didn't either, and it got hefty punish out of that.
I would say that now Z-Wolf would have the ability to change his CACs, but they're all the same. It's all the same guy. Brazil guy.
Brazil guy, yeah. Z-Wolf going for a very creative inspiration. I wonder where he got it from. Just representing the country of Brazil, despite living in Switzerland.
Just by looking at his sets, I really hope he goes to the one with Phantom Fist, Eagle Kick, just generally, good moves for extending combos. Something tells me he might go for the Confusion Blade Jump Spike build, though.
Yeah, worth noting is that preset you just mentioned has also I Flew Around the Whole World Super Soul, which increases speed, which is often being proven to be a very important impacting stat. And I believe Z-Wolf just sticks to his former preset, just going for that Pearl Flash, just trying to chunk out damage.
Ah, man.
Goes for the God Fist, but gets stuffed. Goddamn.
Going for the
he
self
tries-
break, but not quite.
Yeah. Cheekily trying to avoid being punished, but not finding any opportunity to. Thank you, Dragon Balls, giving him back his stamina, and with that health burst on top, this could be the start of Z-Wolf's comeback story.
It's true. He's definitely able to easily get off Thank You Dragon Balls with the use of Remote Serious Bomb. He just has to be very careful around playing against his neutral supers here. Jump Spike. He's not throwing out any key stuns, in anticipation. He's not going for P blocks on the Pro Flash. He's just, it's dangerous. It's dangerous what he's playing, man.
Well, if you go for the perfect blocks on the Pro Flash, it requires you to stand still, and Super Itachi will definitely want that with those jump spikes. And just
wow,
the God Fist to punish the Hakai Ball and does not get hit by it in the slightest. Very smart play here from Z-Wolf.
Who knew? Being in a little cutscene when you're throwing it out, invulnerability.
Yeah, I believed. Wow, and then the Savage Strike. Those moves are paying dividends for Z-Wolf. You don't see often both Savage Strike and God Fist. You consider them like some level of overlapping utility, but he's making excellent use of just both punch moves. And the Pro Flash will even up the score 1-1.
Pseudo may not be here physically, but he is here in spirit.
Yes, very much so.
Ah, God. I don't know which one I want to lose.
Oh, man. Well, both contestants just going at it with all their might, and well, we might be looking at a potential upset here. Z-Wolf could be striving to make it to the winner semifinals, and where he's very likely to face Felix, who's fighting for those tournament points,
Will this be the third time in a row he goes for the Pearl Flash set? It helped him out a lot in these previous matches, to be fair, as well as the Remote Serious Bomb Thank You Dragon Balls, of which this is the only preset with that available.
Yes, very true. And that's where you see maybe a little bit of a Super Soul difference come in. Super Itachi is sporting that little Napso, has to burn some stamina at the beginning of the match, but has access to that perpetual flow of ki. Z-Wolf, not so lucky in that regard, but he gets that huge stamina boost whenever he triggers off his soul, and you can see it's been helping him a lot, but right now he kind of needs it. He is on very dire stamina situation.
I choose to chase after him after the Surging Fist. I would have probably wanted to go onto that island, in a small attempt to regen some stamina.
Managed to get the Clash, and the Clash will definitely benefit Z-Wolf in this scenario. Always benefiting the person who has the lowest stamina, who has their backs against the wall the most. And now their stamina situation looking quite even.
Very precarious situation here.
Yeah. Both contestants' presets almost mirroring each other with those Pro Flash uses, both Mill Earthlings. Just some good old honest Xenoverse here.
And just combination, punishing the LB. Ooh.
Oh, but the Thank You Dragon Ball's very smart usage there. And just content to not punish at all and just regain some stamina. And suddenly Z-Wolf's back in this. Super Itachi has access to a health burst of his own, but Z-Wolf, not a player you can take lightly in the situations, could definitely punish it. And both these players could reasonably take away this match.
I would be a lot more careful right now, considering all the key that Itachi has available to him right now. He can just throw all these Pro Flashes and Jump Spikes without consequence.
Oh, and Z-Wolf's health looking very grim. Dash H could seal it, or as well as a grab. Ooh. And a grab will do the trick. Super Itachi advances 2-1. Valiant effort from Z-Wolf, and I hope we see more of him this tournament.
For sure.
Alright, moving on, we should be having Revi versus... my mistake. We should be having Felix versus Pocky, finishing off the EU side.
Alright.
So Felix, again, as mentioned before, looking to accrue as many points as he can, just make as possibly as far as he can to just be the captain for that second team in the Universal Tournament. And he's bringing 3 distinct CACs. Now he can't switch between them without losing, but he's sporting a Namekian, a female Majin, and a male Majin of all things, being the only one in the tournament to do so. So, what CAC do you think is the most beneficial for Felix to be running right now?
I cannot get the idea out of my head that he will definitely find so much mileage out of his Namekian, which is difficult to say and difficult to believe considering that we've actually banned Namek Finger for this tournament. But still, you have a ridiculously strong alternating that can be easily looped, easily compounded on with damage. A Namekian can just go in any particular way when it comes to their build that they just have so much versatility. And I really do think versatility is one of the most important things that that's all about CACs, you know?
Yeah, it's the shining characteristic for CSC competition. And another thing to note about Namekians, that regeneration can get you a long way. And Felix is also bringing a soul that not only sports a health burst, but also an incredible damage reduction when at low health. So that Namekian of his will definitely be a tough menace to put down. Palkia might be looking to use like his most damaging presets to chunk out that health, but then Felix has the opportunity to just start off with a different character, you know, so let's see what he chooses right now.
The Fat Man.
Wow, he will start with the male Majin of all things. Again, the only male Majin in this tournament, but Felix seems pretty confident in it. And he's bringing Thank You Dragon Balls and a very interesting gimmick with Candy Bean and Fighting Pose K. We might be seeing him getting off here.
Candy Bean the Evasive.
Yes, very true. Not the super attack, the evasive, which, I mean, I'd be considering that to his detriment, but he seemed very confident in his ability to just get it off. And gets the pose.
Wow.
Wow. And now just having Palkia on the rope, but yeah, pose K, very easy to grab, very easy to just diffuse. But still, putting a lot of pressure on Palkia to just play perfect neutral there.
Potential unleash compounding the defense male Majins have access to.
Yes, and an interesting thing to note is that if you're bringing any other buff to stack the duration of Post K, you also get rid of his defense penalty, so it's just the full defense stacking just coming into play right now.
Oh man, that is diabolical. How would you personally go up against this kind of setup that Felix has going here? I mean, clearly the main thing is to get out of range of that Candy Beam, but...
Yeah, you just have to be looking out for just avoiding that Candy Beam altogether, as well as very crucially just not giving him the opportunity to vanish. Just unvanishable combos should be your bread and butter here, but Palkia just in a very bad situation, just can't seem to get any damage in, any neutral win, and is just suffering at the hands of those stretchy arms from Mel Majins. They're not to be taken lightly. Can definitely accrue a lot of neutral wins just from the reach they provide.
With the break
and the break, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the limit burst was already used. Palkia had no chance of just getting out there. And Felix goes up 1-0.
A shame now, switching off of his male Earthling, possibly his safest pick that he could have gone for.
Right? When you think of male Earthlings, you think of like a very safe and sometimes oppressive neutral, but and male Majins almost the opposite of that. You know, they're one of like the least safe neutrals. They just rely on their reach to make up for most of it. But Felix just showing impressive dominance with that post K, just not giving Palki any opportunity to challenge that, and we'll see. Palki goes back to his Mil Saiyan, and that's the Thank You Dragon Balls preset. So maybe he's looking to match Felix on endurance battle, but I don't know if personally if Mil Saiyan can win those, you know.
Yep, I see Pocky even dropping a combo so they can go for the strategy I was about to describe. Going for his light heavy knockaway as a way to force out the candy beam safely, which he wasn't able to do. If only there was a mashing out mechanic.
Right? And that's the thing, you need to be hitting that Melmajin with unvanishable combos, but you don't want to be in range for those candy beans. You need to anticipate them, you need to move out of the way. Even sacrificing your own evasive if need be, just do not let him get off post K. And the armor will just completely ignore the... Oh, but Palki maybe a little bit ahead of himself, maybe thought the armor was over. Felix just managed to extend it for free, and no repercussions for him. Palki just has to resort to grabs and grabs. And that's maybe where you'd see some grab moves shining the most. You know, God Fist, Jump Spike. I do not believe Palki has any of those in that preset. Oh, he does have God Fist, but doesn't seem to go for it. Maybe he doesn't know that it goes through the armor. And looking to stealth break here, but Felix very good at punishing that. I don't know if...
What burst does Felix have on top of all of this?
Yeah, Felix sporting Thank You Dragon Ball, sporting health burst, and Palki barely managed to get through his first health bar. Definitely an uphill battle for him right now. Palki gets his own health burst off, and yeah, if you're Felix, you're quite happy to see that and just go for the break. Try to seal it off with most damage you can. Which does not seem to be a lot. Felix not using any super so far, just going for the alternating, but that will seal the deal with the jump spike. Goddamn.
Felix showing off an otherworldly combination of super souls on top of natural attributes on top of making use out of what others might have considered a pretty... I don't even know how to qualify, or how to quantify, how to describe Candy Beam the Evasive.
Right? Yeah, definitely a creative combination, and it paid off dividends for Felix. He moves on to face Super Itachi, and that battle will probably be one of the most, not only most anticipated of the tournament, but also the most telling, because those two players are just trying to get at each other and just advance further than the other. So we'll see that in the semifinals. But right now, let's move on to Revi versus Blades of Might to quickly move to the NA side of the second round and potentially see who goes down to losers, who keeps advancing towards semifinals.
All right, who's up next?
Revi and Blades of Might, sorry.
All right. We already got to see Blades earlier, right?
Yeah, we saw Blades display against Fabled. Blades now locked into his female Majin until he loses. So Revi maybe a little bit of an advantage there, being able to scout the preset. But I mean, a tricky preset to go up against. Those combos into Junk Spike and Bubble Punch, just very tricky moves to get around, and let's see how Revi breaks it with his female Earthling, at all things. Of course, we can't quite see which preset Revi is sporting. All three of his presets look the exact same, so it's And Blade's just going for that early ult, but gets broken for it this time. And wow.
Full key. Oh!
Oh my god, what a beautiful punish to that otherwise tricky thing to get around with, though, that starting off ult.
Was any part of that break punish burstable? Like any part of it?
Nope, not at all. You cannot burst versus paralyzed Ki Blast, and on top of that, the Darkness Rush, I believe it is, a grab move, so you're just forced to sit through that cutscene. And now Blade's on his last health bar, on very grim stamina situation, and just, I mean, he has his burst left, but definitely he's back against ropes with Revi, who just starting full health pretty much, half the stamina, and just a lot to work with.
So this seems to be his preset with a lot of Vados' moves. I remember outside of the tournament, he always had a lot of fun time messing around with those combos. All 4 of them combined. Yeah,
fun little fact. One of his presets has all of Vados' moves, but this one, he's only bringing a couple of them. And oh no, wait. My mistake, actually. This is his preset with all of Vados' moves, and that will, I mean, maybe a little bit of a playful preset, but fearsome one nonetheless. Just takes the first round very convincingly.
Very clean. I want to see. Let's see. What might Blades do to go and? Definitely he knows, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to go into those raw ultimates. Maybe he might have more luck going with Godly Rush.
Yeah, definitely an ultimate that you can't quite break in the same way. I'm not sure how vulnerable it is to a raw Darkness Rush, but Revi, if he can't get those paralyzed Ki Blasts, he cannot get any key to start off with and punish. But Blade's showing some respect, which changed swiftly to his female Saiyan, I believe it is. Let me double check. Yes, female Saiyan. Sporting time for a little nap, so a very super attack centric build right here.
Definitely one big advantage of having your CAC across all presets look the same. Unless you have a Super Soul that gives it away like immediately. You won't quite be able to tell what you're going to be looking at. You can use your Scouter, of course, but nothing's stopping your opponent from just beating on you while you're too busy looking there.
Yeah, exactly. Blaze performing much better right now, just zoning with Urain. Maybe not necessarily the best zoning move, but an effective one at just creating some pressure for him to land those jump spikes. Much more even match between these two contestants right now.
Look at that. It's like these guys are cool with kind of zoning in their own ways, or, you know, setting up future combos in their own ways.
Right. And just a matchup of zoning moves, and very interesting usage of Vados' moves. Revi always very partial to them, but you can see that he knows the ins and outs of those moves, man.
Able to perfect block the lovely Cyclone and vanish the evasive perfectly.
Yes.
Seeing a very even stamina game here.
Yeah, it's very true. Oh, a little bit of desync here, maybe? Hopefully it's fine on the end of those two players. Sometimes the stream doesn't properly reflect how the players might be feeling about this, but Revi just successfully preventing those Pearl Flashes, just getting out of the way or just hitting them before it starts. And Blades, maybe not necessarily the best situation here, but they're quite even.
And they still have bursts. They still have a few recovery options. I don't think any of them have Thank You Dragon Balls, do they?
No, they did not. I'm not sure what Revi's burst is, or either of these players, honestly. But yeah, they do have the limit burst available to them, and this is a much more even match than the first one, man.
Good job to Blades avoiding that turnaround grab.
Yeah, very true. And landing that jump spike, that will be the great equalizer, and just both health, both staminas just looking fairly low, and the next few interactions could decide this match. Avoids a limit burst with a back hit of all things.
I really like this this matchup. We're seeing a lot of regular zoning type playstyle, getting hits where you can, making use out of neutral jump spikes. That playstyle going up against someone who is really interested in the technical side of Xenoverse, someone who's labbing the combos, trying out as much as they can with Pearl, with Paralyzed Blast and Vadis' skills, and making it work practically.
Yeah, very true. Revi, maybe sometimes a little bit too interested in those moves. Oh, but he'll get hit by the jump spike to seal the deal. Evening is up to 1-1. Another game 3 in our hands. The third one this tournament.
I gotta learn how to do that.
Yeah, and very, very impressive stuff from both these contestants. Revi, last time he was in the tournament, not a CS2-1, mind you, but he was a little bit too interested in getting those key confirms, those flashy attacks, and let his opponent recover some stamina off of it, and unfortunately lost that match. So a much greater level of familiarity with CAC techniques and just CAC play in general, and a much more invigorated showing from this player right now with this female Earthling.
It looks like he's bringing back that same preset of Earthling, right?
Well,
or that same preset
same,
of
so yeah.
the Saiyan, right?
Right, yeah. Well, Blades is not allowed to change since he won that match, but yes. So we should be seeing a bit of a repeat this time around, both these contestants.
Not skipping a beat despite slight readjusting, having to make use of the back hits. Oop, there's Future Super Saiyan coming out.
Yeah.
Already, Revi, not dangerous stamina, but a visible gap there. Oh wow, reverse burst dash in the jump spike. Does that work?
Yeah. I know, a little bit optimistic there from Blades, but clearly, if it does work, it's probably a very tight gap, and he just had to commit to it, but does not get punished for it. Jump spike, very hard move to punish.
Ooh, and the spike to vanish.
Wow, the Eagle Kick will just catch Blades there, and now full health bar down, similar stamina situations, but as I say that, lands a nice Pearl Flash and just looking to even that health situation.
Drops the finishing blow, unfortunately, but
those Eagle Kicks, man, you can't challenge those, and it's very hard to anticipate. Blades playing very aggressive right now and getting punished for it.
Woo.
Oh, and the power pole of all things with the signature soul on top of it.
He tried to go for it again.
Oh, but the perfect block. That's maybe an interesting situation where Revi didn't try to
evasive or
evade. Yeah.
Punish the burst.
Yeah, but very confident, very dominant play so far, and just getting Blades to be on the back foot, even with that health burst on, and even with the stamina advantage. Oh, that's not even finishing blow. That's
Striker
it's
of
the other one.
Striker Revelation or something.
Yes,
like that.
Correct. Yeah, Striker of Revelation. Thank you very much. And a little bit of an interesting technique to use. A little bit hard to combo into, but Revi very confident in it, and it's not hurting him so far. He did not get punished for it and keeps Blades on that back foot.
Generally playing very safe against the risk of evasives.
Yes, and forcing Blades to evade his evasive, and just both stamina situations not looking great for either of these players, but the break Blades will get.
Combo drop.
Dropping
It might have a chance.
Oh, but the it's an attack burst too. That's rough. But Revi could seal the game in the next few interactions with that all that damage going on for him.
Interesting, he doesn't go for the power pole.
Yeah, I was expecting it. Maybe he thought Blaze might get stamina back in time.
Oh, but the counter evasive totally helping out Revi there. Closing it out.
Beautiful punish. And Revi will take the match and advance to the semifinals. Very, very interesting play from this contestant. And Purple, you really do not see it every day. Very, very creative performance from this contestant. Alright, man. It's me versus you next. Let's see if Fabled can get in here, commentate for us. Not. Alright, seems like Fabled won't be able to commentate, so, well, we might be looking at a bit of a silent match, but let's make it a good one regardless. Best luck to you, Multi, and
best luck to you as well. I wish I could take a moment to describe each other's characters and playstyle and expectations and whatnot, but I've got to set up the names, man. I can't do it.
Well, Multi bringing his Namekian and his signature Male Earthling, the race and gender he names, and bringing only 2 CACs, a bit of on the rarer side. While me, I'm bringing 3 whole CACs, and well, we'll see how those match up. Very different builds, but we might be looking at a banger of a match. Yeah,
that's my name.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Me too. Yeah, I've got to say, that was a really weird match. I got away with a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have. Generally, the frame rate was kind of choppy. I wouldn't hold it against Cyker to want to redo it. In fact, I can just ask him right now. Okay, yeah, we'll be counting that match. As I've won, I have the ability to only choose between my different Earthling presets. So I might as well switch to the other one. But I can't switch to my Namekium. Let's do this! Terraria? Dog, the name's... The song name's in there. What do you mean? Anyway. Multi takes the set Psyker, continues to compete in the loser bracket. Oh right, I gotta make the new room. Again, a lot of that matchup came down to me having practiced against Psyker for like a week straight.
Yeah.
And at every point, you know, we were learning each other's weaknesses, learning each other's strategies and whatnot.
Maybe one of us learning more than the other, evidently, but still, good game for you, dude. And hope you make it far in the tournament.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be a team leader. Who's up next?
Alright, let's see. I believe it's Felix and the Super Itachi. So we should be looking at like honestly the most anticipated match of the tournament, and I would not be surprised if either of these players made it to grand finals. Especially since Corny Anime God, some of you might been expecting to see his face around here, current champion of the Otherworld tournament, but sadly could not make it this time around. So the title is up for grabs, and we will see which of these contestants might be getting it here.
Just to be sure, because Felix won the last set as male Majin, he has to remain him right now, right?
Yeah, correct. So Felix has to stick with male Majin, and Super Itachi only brought one preset, one CAC, and just...
One's all you need.
Yeah, one's all he need. And we should be seeing how those two match up, especially like Balky's male Earthling did not have a great time versus Felix male Majin, but you know, Super Itachi could be a whole different story, and we'll see right now who goes for it.
I'm really excited about this because I actually am deathly afraid of Felix's build here. It's gonna be interesting to see how an experienced player handles using that, considering he's a male Earthling too, right? Super Itachi? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, so that's how you evade it, you just step away.
Yeah. Making great use of those tap iframes and just not getting hit by the candy bean at all.
Ooh.
The second time over though, not as lucky, and Felix will just get the lovely cyclone going and the extension of the post K.
Itachi's favorite move in the whole wide world, possibly being his undoing. But let's see how Felix deals with the destructive vision, as it turns out, really easily.
Yeah, that super armor, nothing's gonna keep you in that move. He just gets grazed by it and just moves the fuck away.
And not to say that someone who can, not to say that anyone who gets messed up by the evasive candy beam combo is not an experienced player, but I'm sure that in his many travels, you know, the Super Itachi has probably faced against this type of build or practiced against it many times, and of course, you know, perfected in every situation.
Yeah, very true.
But it seems would you say he's struggling?
Yeah, Felix just managed to keep extending that post K at every turn and basically has perpetual super armor through this entire match. Those lovely cyclones, very tough to punish, and the rare jump spike collision there, attacking each other's grabs, but Super Itachi just getting the most damage he can out of it and just not really caring if there's super armor, if that's not super armor, just going for that heavy damage no matter what when Felix cannot avoid it.
So it would appear that these grab type moves have been pretty effective so far in at least reducing the health of this male Majin here. At this point, I'm pretty sure trying to reduce his stamina, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and not even just the grab moves, but also Pearl Flash, very safe, very hard to avoid getting hit by it, especially since Felix is not bothering to block at all. And now his health situation very dire. No matter his stamina, he's just next super could kill him. Both these players very even health situation. Felix's super armor finally wore off. I'm not sure if he can get an opportunity to set it up again, and he does not, as he gets finished off by a very quick Pearl Flash into a jump spike.
I gotta say, is it just a bias in my head from seeing the players that use it so often, or are Pearl Flash and jump spike becoming very popular moves in this tournament?
Yeah, very, very true. We did not see those moves get represented as much last tournament round, and I'm not surprised at all to see Jump Spike have a big emergence, but Pearl Flash definitely surprises me. You would think CACs are well-tooled to just deal with that sort of move, but this time around, just getting a lot of mileage out of it and beating a player of the caliber of Felix, it's no small feat. So let's see, Felix might be opting to switch his ACs, and he does, going for his Namekian. And the interesting thing about his Namekian is that the Pearl Flash tactic may not work as well here. He sports Super God Shock Flash, so he could stop it right in its tracks.
It's an interesting Namekian Earthling matchup here. The first of the tournament?
Yes, the first of the tournament. And these two races, regarded by many, the very top races in CAC play, just the best. And we might see right here which one comes out on top with those two builds, these two playstyles just clashing against each other.
Charged heavies against potential unleashed. Is there any way in which that can work? Or is it just too fast?
It's just too fast, but he was maybe hoping to catch him out of the animation. Maybe as he moves around, maybe he tries to block. No such luck, unfortunately. Bertacci, too good of a player to fall for something like that, but no harm in going for it either, you know? And just jump spikes left and right from both these players. As they really foregoing any idea of going through neutral and just throwing these supers at each other very safely.
Super God Shock Flash on the jump spike. Well, now that I know that works, I want to use it.
Yeah, Super God Shock Flash, probably one of the best counters in the game. Can chain a wide variety of supers after it, and just very safe to use in general as well.
Woo! Weird
A
stuff
little
happening.
bit of beating there, maybe. Could be from our point of view. And Felix gets hit by the detonation of the Hakai Ball. You do not want to be near it when it happens.
Oh, dangerous stamina. Will we see a burst? Yes, and just as he expects. Oh, but luckily has just enough to instant rise out of there.
One thing to note, though, is that Felix cannot... Wow, he might get broken again for Turbos. He cannot self-break while the health bar is active, so even though he was at pretty much 0 stamina there, it would not have worked. And wow, Super Itachi just getting the better of Felix right now. And this could shape to be a quick 2-0. Not the result at all we expected out of this match.
Throughout all the strange little, Confusion Blade juggling, Felix at least has quite a bit of stamina regenerated.
Yeah, and that Namekian health, a little bit deceptive. He's still regenerating right now as we speak, and if he gets brought lower than that, he could very well find the opportunity to regen even further. So it's quite a bit of a grind here, and between these two players, might be more even than we think. Especially, it's down to their Itachi's health bar, not looking as maybe as girdy as it one was, and both maybe a couple interactions away from dying, but Felix, with the benefit of the Namekian regeneration, might be in a bit of an advantage here.
Interesting to see the way he's using After Image. What was it, After Image Strike?
Yeah, After Image Strike, correct.
We got to see him earlier in the match use it to link into Jump Spike, link into his other supers. Oh, finally. Bird Block on the Pro Flash. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That super soul activates late. Like, it activates when you're almost dead.
Yeah, pretty much. But now Felix takes practically no damage. It's a very high damage reduction. And those once damaging Pearl Flashes can't even seal the deal. And with that Namekian regeneration on top of it, it could be anyone's game.
Wow.
And the God Fist will seal it, bringing us up to an even 1-1. Goddamn.
Very impressive play from Felix there in that last, in that very dangerous predicament of health, like in that particular layer of health. His strategy changed a whole lot. He made a whole bunch of use out of his regen.
Very true. And that's why you can't underestimate Namekian's multi. The sheer capability of them to just bring back a fight that I had no business winning in the first place. Very strong, and with that soul, even stronger potentially.
It looks like we're going to be looking at the exact same setups as last time going into this match, considering Itachi only has the one Earthling, and Felix only has the one Namekian.
Yeah, Felix is not allowed to change, of course, as he won this match. So should be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a rare moment, we might actually see knowledge from the previous match going immediately into the next one for both contestants.
Yeah, evening it up and just paying off dividends for both these players. Just let's see how they can make adjustments and just struggle to figure out who's best in this one and just get that one point in the towards being a captain in the Universal Tournament.
Ooh, jump spike
Felix
on
trying
block.
to descend, yeah. Felix trying to descend, playing a little bit more passive, regen some stamina, but Super Itachi not allowing it. Jump spike, of course, goes to block, and very tricky move to get against.
Perfect blocks. We haven't seen too many of them in this match particularly.
Yeah, tournament, we have not seen a great amount of perfect blocks, just most players just trying to circumvent neutral with those very safe supers, and for Itachi it's been working so far, but let's see. Felix has come back from worse literally in the previous match, so we could see quite the turnaround here. And the dashing heavy into the God Fist, very tricky and gives him a lot of time to just regain a lot of stamina.
Very reliable. No good trying to hard, heavy smash that.
Yeah, just stays close to get the activation out of the way and just go on his merry way. And while the health situation might be quite even here, and even in Felix's advantage, you gotta consider that the making regeneration that helped him so much last match. This is actually a much greater advantage, and Felix, it's his game to lose right now.
So far, this whole match has been very decided by, getting in and immediately doing your damage through the use of a super, or just like getting one in neutral by itself. Jump spike, Pearl Flash. Oh, wow. That combo keeping him stuck while the fission follows, but...
Yeah, Felix obviously anticipating that, just content to stay in the combo, try to get the trigger and just get the hell out of there. And just two quick jump spikes, then Super Itachi, no regen in sight, he just loses. Wow, Felix goes up, moving on to winners finals and getting his first point this tournament. Wow, impressive play from both these contestants, and just goes to show you cannot underestimate the power of the makings, man.
Thank you very much for not leaving the room or crashing.
They might, the makings, might not be, might have the strongest neutral available, but that regeneration, those hard knockdowns, very strong, very unpredictable, and just very versatile.
Who's up next?
Up next, it's you and Revi.
Oh, okay.
For NA side of the semifinals.
In the meantime, oh man, I'm really excited about that because he's gonna tech circles around me. But what do you think about that? We have Felix and Not Creamy, two players, and very good players. They make it far in tournaments. You commonly find them in finals, and in this match in particular, their playstyle against each other very heavily centered on that hit and run tactic. Getting those non-avoidable, grab type jump spikes and super God Fists to just get their damage. Not too much interactions when it comes to vanishing or evasives or anything like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, those supers, man. Just defining the entirety of just the neutral play in this, and well, not Creamy, Super Itachi and Felix just making the best they can out of those very safe supers and just putting in hard towards each other, and it's just paying off. It seems to be the most effective way to play in this tournament, and well, let's see how those contestants perform going forward in the tournament. Very, very good players, and they're playing this by the book pretty much.
And just to be sure, I gotta run my Earthling, right?
Yeah, I believe so. You won, and then you got it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Peace.
Alright, I'll take it on for here. Yes, Blades, you can. No. In losers, you can pick whoever. You lost to be sent there, so you can just start new. Alright, here we see Multi and Revi, the two semifinalists from the NA side. Multi, of course, beating me to get here, and Revi beating Blades Might. And, well, both these contestants got a lot to show. Revi with his unorthodox deck in Female Earthling, and Multi with just his good neutral play and just strong loops in his Female Earthling. Right off the gate, both contestants are pretty even up, and Multi going for that high damage Saturday Crash. You cannot underestimate those on especially sporting Topo Soul. So that give him like XXL damage, like 35%. So just a lot of damage, super armor limit burst. Maybe a little bit of deficit in stamina regen, but clearly not hurting him at all in this match. Wow, that Comet, one of the harder supers from Vados to actually hit with. Bringing Multi's health quite lower, and both these contestants doing a pretty good job at keeping even with each other. Revi goes for the random paralyzed key blast there. I'm not sure what the intended action was there, but he's just stacking on damage with those knockbacks into the Concerto of Destruction. So it's a pretty dire situation for Multi. He has that armor limit burst. Revi is on very low stamina, but managed to get the perfect block with the break. So Multi tries to go for the counter there, fails to achieve that, and will be losing round 1. Yeah, Felix. Multi going for those raw Phantom Fists, maybe trying to regain some stamina, trying to get a shot at winning neutral, fails to predict Revi's approach, and gets punished for it big time. Alright, Multi making changes to his Namekian. I believe his Namekian is a striker, but not too sure. And bringing that giant form, which, I mean, very strong option against strikers, but I'm not sure if it will benefit at all versus what Rev is running. Maybe he's just more confident in the Namekian's resource game and just trying to have a better time here against Revi's very all-encompassing damage with those knockbacks into Vados supers. A quick knockdown into Soaring Fist will not connect, but forcing Revi's stamina, and both health from both these players looking pretty even right now. Oh, managed to evade the tricky Darkness Rush. So right now, again, back to even, back to a neutral situation. Multi maybe getting a little bit better of Revi's neutral, but Revi compensates it with a health lead and does some clever zoning play through the water. Managed to catch Multi, increase his health lead further. Multi going for the Giant Namekian versus the Ki Blaster, I'm not too sure what the game plan is there, but wow, managed to corner Revi and force him out of Multi's stamina. If Revi cannot seal the deal here against Multi, he might be looking at a pretty hefty disadvantage. Again, those paralyzed Ki Blasts first and into Darkness Rush, especially at the corner there, very tricky. And Multi catches Revi's Self Break, does not go for the Limit Burst so far, maybe feeling like he can't get a correct timing for it. And a Clash. A Clash will definitely benefit in the mech in this situation. Both players at very low health. And Multi is looking to seal off this match with probably a grab or a dashing heavy into Soaring Fist. Evading at every turn though, his stamina is leaking a little bit there, but the burst dash into Soaring Fist will finish the match and bring us to a game 3 between these two contestants. Revi, of course, bringing only his female Earthling, bringing 3 presets of it. Maybe he'll make a change in how he wants to play this match. Maybe he'll bring a different preset, especially versus the overall value that the Namekians get from the resources. But you know, it's been a pretty strong showing from Multi so far, and Revi's second preset is primarily a striker preset, so could be very dangerous versus Giant Namekian. Revi again going for those paralyzed Ki Blasts. Didn't give us quite the opportunity to see what Soul he's sporting, but I believe that means it's either his first or second preset, mostly on the Ki Blaster side, which makes sense versus Giant Namekian. Sadly, we won't be seeing a body change from Revi, even though he's almost known for his love of body changing. It's only sported on his second preset. Multi here with a significant stamina lead and health looking pretty even. We could see... Oh, but the rough Phantom Fist doesn't manage to catch anything. Maybe he planned to use it on the knockback of the transformation, but it was a little bit too far away. Oh, and catches Revi for a good chunk of damage. That Giant Namekian, man, you cannot underestimate it. Oh, and during the break managed to get the Evil Blast, and Revi has no stamina. You cannot Limit Burst the initial portion of that move, and right now, Multi-Situation looking very dominant. Revi without his Limit Burst, without a lot of stamina to work with, and without a lot of health, mainly. Multi is his game to lose. He should be winning this match very convincingly. That being said, goes for the Giant Namekian transformation. Maybe a very interesting play, but can't seem to catch Revi very much, getting perfect locked, and that will cost him a lot of stamina that he would otherwise have really wanted to. He still has access to his Limit Burst, which is a Super Armor one, I believe. So evades the shocking Death Ball, maybe not necessary there, but a little bit of panic from this contestant. And Revi, no stamina to work with. This could be the end of the match. And perfect blocks the evasive to seal it off. Very inspiring play from contestant Multi.
Dude, let's go!
Let's go. Stay in the room. Don't yet because it's you in winners finals now.
Okay.
Fantastic showing from you, Multi. Maybe a little bit too creative with that second Namekian transformation transform, but it paid off for you well when you dominated that match.
So, oh, I guess you can change off of his... Oh, no, he's gonna use the Majin on me, isn't he? No. No, he won.
No,
so he has the Namekian.
He won.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be Namekian. Namekian versus Namekian right now.
Oh, God.
Both players want to get here, and
Oh,
it
no.
just will be probably a resource game, probably a slow one at that, but we'll see who comes up at the top between these two contestants in winners finals right now. Both Namekians with a massive size difference. Felix, of course, going for that max height Namekian, getting as much health as he can, almost full 3 bars. Multi not too far behind despite his small size though. Both just trying to get those alternatings in, just get the hard knockdown, follow it up with some supers. And Multi just making the most out of that evasive and starting his Soaring Fist loops. Felix maybe evading a little premature there. Multi did not have much key to continue to look forward, but you don't want to get hit by that damage, you know. And Multi just content to use that evasive and potentially just start off a new loop. Felix, wary to it, just will use Potential Unleash to armor through. And the God Fist, oh my god, that combo did a lot of damage, and Multi's health situation not looking good despite him winning neutral a couple of times with his evasive. Felix drops the block, maybe an attempt to perfect block there, not too sure about that. And goes for those jump spikes, but Multi, of course, benefits by that health regen, won't be in too bad of a situation, and just quite content to just try to drain Felix of his. And Felix once again dropping the guard, maybe a little bit too greedy there, trying to get those perfect blocks, trying to win neutral when instead of his cautious play that got him here in first place. And the Super God Shock Flash will drop randomly. Maybe the burst dash put Multi a little bit too far away from it. You don't see that happen very often, but yeah. And now their health situation looking fairly even, the stamina just the same. Multi could be taking this match, but as I say that, he gets hit by the raw Darkness Rush. This could be it. Oh, very close. And Felix will have his Super Soul trigger, so it's pointless to deal damage to him right now. He still has his health burst in reserve, but if Multi is smart about it, he will not even give Felix the chance to use it whatsoever. Oh, and the Giant Namekian, you cannot use... Oh, that Super Soul triggers multiple times with Namekians? That's crazy. I thought it triggered only once. That's insanity. And Multi goes for that Giant Namekian transformation, and it works out well for him. Felix doesn't have a super in store that can touch it, but unfortunately you have to drop it at some point. It's just not feasible because of the stamina drain involved. And the dashing heavy into jump spike will seal the match. Very close game between these two contestants. A little bit of a cameo from Z-Wolf there, messaging Multi, telling him to grab. Well, very good match from both these players. Yeah, Creamy, sadly, I don't think transitive property works like that in Xenoverse. Multi, maybe struggles with your style of play a little bit more than he does versus Felix. That being said, his Namekian very much a force to be reckoned with. But let's see if he stays on it or if he goes for the Earthling. And seems like he might do just that. Choice is opened up for him now that he lost the first round. This is, again, a best of 5, so these two players ought to be going the distance. Multi bringing his Earthling the full key preset, super armor, limit burst, a lot of supers. Goes for the Phantom Fist there on the telegraph combo. Felix can't really prevent that from happening, and will give Multi back some of his stamina. And maybe Multi is just looking for those, those Hattery Crash loops that are so damaging and got him so far in his previous matches. Oh, but the God Fist into the Finish Buster will chunk Felix's health down, and it's definitely something you need when you're fighting a Namekian, right? Oh, the Hail Mary ×4. Felix will trigger the Potential Unleash there, so he's just content to armor through, but that will deal a hefty bit of stamina damage on him. That being said, Multi bit too happy in vanishing his own combos, not doing too good on stamina himself, and now on his last health bar, maybe it was a mistake to go too early and just we're seeing now Felix quite content in controlling the pace of the match with all those resources available to him on Namekian. Multi managed to step vanish through the jump spike. You don't usually see that, especially in an A2EU connection. Both these players experiencing a good connection between these two right now, but still, grab moves very tricky in any amount of lag. Oh, the synchronized God Fist. Little bit of a maybe this player's having the same ideas, the same brain there for a second, and Multi managed to catch him with the. Oh, the Saturday crash into God Fist into Finish Buster, dealing a hefty chunk of damage to Felix. Oh, Felix quite content to just float casually by, maybe a little bit reminiscent of what Pseudonym was doing last tournament. And trying to, maybe a little greedy there, trying to be a little stylish with his punishes. But, I mean, he completely controls the pace of the match right now. He's quite content to just see Multi struggle and just finish it off at his leisure. But, if he maybe a little bit too cocky from him, this could cost him this behavior right now and not sealing the match. Multi can't quite find a way to get in and start to get desperate and just throwing out random supers. Well, managed to juggle Felix, who is quite content to just regen some much needed, stamina he actually has in surplus there. And managed to perfect block Multi, and that should be the match. Unless... Oh, this is just brutal. And the Finish Buster? The Finish Buster will finish it off! Multi making Felix pay dearly for his cockiness, for his arrogance right there. And Felix might be...
That dude probably went AFK.
Yeah, Felix, honestly,
man,
paying for his cockiness there. I agree, Fabled. Absolutely deserved. I agree.
It was a really good call going for preset too. I really wanted unvanishable damage on him.
Yeah, very, very clever decision. Very good against the Mechans. Just
Shit. He's
dealing
gonna...
as much damage as you can.
He's please don't do that one. Please don't use that one, Felix. Please. Well, I have preset 2. I can still use preset 2, right?
You can use preset 1 and 2, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna let my hand relax for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, Moti. Felix bringing out his female Majin. It has time for a little nap, so he should be looking to be using a lot more neutral supers, even more so than his Namekian or his male Majin. And Multi trying to punish it with his full key to start off the match, maybe trying to throw off a super there. Doesn't quite manage to get Felix. And these two races, probably some of the safest neutral in the game. Multi though, with a very strong back hit, managed to catch Felix with the God Fist, but cannot follow it up with Finish Buster. It dropped at that height, it seems. Felix going for the Flash Chaser, I believe it is, into the Energy Wave combo. Just very strong zoning from Felix right now. A player that's not really known for that style of play. Multi just trying to get every bit of damage he can right now, but just failing to achieve anything. Felix just dominant stamina lead, and Multi, honestly, he's back against the wall right now. No health, no stamina to work with, and I mean, he has his burst, but this match could be over very quickly. Oh, and the zoning will finally pay off. Catch Multi mid-staff vanish, and Felix will lead the series 2-1.
Oh, I lost. Dude.
There's at least one more game, man. Never give up.
Right, but this was the best of 3, right?
Nope, best of 5.
Best of 5? Oh, shit.
Yep. This series going the distance. Hopefully.
Okay. Kind of wishing I had a drain field right about now.
Maybe so.
Not gonna name any names about how I got talked out of that.
I mean, you didn't even use your alternative to it at all either, so hey. Don't blame me, man. Alright, Multi going back to Namekian. His trust in Namekian gave him a really nice win. Gave him a really nice win so far, and a really good showing versus Felix's own Namekian. But again, it's a giant form. Much more of a strike build counter, and Felix is anything but. But you know, Namekians are quite tricky to deal with, regardless of Awokens, and Felix is proving that, or Multi is proving that, dealing quite a lot of damage with those light heavies into Key Blast Cannon, just knocking Felix down, knocking down his stamina, knocking down his health, and forcing Felix to just hang back in zone, which Multi is quite content to just let him do, you know, as an Namekian, just trying to accrue as many resources as possible to work with. And Felix will vanish the Key Blast Cannon, doesn't punish it very effectively, but gets some more distance, maybe an opportunity to regen some of his own stamina, and catches him with God Fist once again. So Felix, once at sub 1 bar even, now looking at a comfortable 3 bars, and Multi having to look for a way to just force out that stamina of his. Multi going for the Phantom Fist there, managed to avoid Felix's zoning. And he might go for the Soaring Fist. And it catches him. Starts the Soaring Fist loop. Felix has no stamina to work with. This could be another win for Multi here, if he plays this well. Felix still has a health burst in store, but will Multi give him the opportunity to use it? Remains to be seen, ladies and gentlemen. And he does get off the burst. Tries to get some more zoning on the board. Multi quite content to just let him do it. Tries to Phantom Fist out of it, but doesn't manage to get the proper timing, sadly. And now, health situation, stamina situation looking pretty even between these two contestants. Felix not punishing those Key Blast cannons as hard as he could have, but maybe just a lack of experience in facing that move. Maybe just not confident in what he should do here versus Mekin, but quite content to keep zoning. And Multi Super Soul will trigger, giving him a lot of stamina back, and he has his health regen on because of his Mekin passive, as well as a health limit burst in store. So this is not clear at all, ladies and gentlemen, who could win this match. If Felix wins this, he wins Winners Finals and advances to Grand Finals. So Multi has to be very careful. It's his life on the line, and if he loses here, he gets dropped all the way to losers. Well,
I
Felix...
had burst.
Felix wins 3-1 and advances to Grand Finals. Very impressive showing from Felix, and very impressive showing from both these contestants. Multi is no slouch either, and some great Xenoverse unfolding here today.
I can't kill myself. Okay. So what's up next?
Now we can start with losers bracket. I believe we have me versus Edgy, and then Z-Wolf versus Fabled right up in the first round of losers.
Okay. One moment.
Did you forget you had Super Armor Limit Burst?
I forgot that I didn't use my burst.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because if you bursted earlier in that ×4, maybe you could have floated out of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate situation.
Oh man, I could have floated out of it. I could have like heavy smashed it, dude.
Yep. Well, you're at least placed confidently in loser semifinals, so it's your chance, or rather, losers finals. You're the. Sorry, I had my bracket labeled incorrectly. So
where's the Neil?
So I mean,
okay,
you could have a very good shot at facing Felix once again and just beating him in his game.
We'll begin losers bracket. Edgy and you, or
yeah, Edgy
okay.
and me. All right, I'm already in. I'm muting myself, and good luck to Edgy. May the best contestant win.
Okay, well, in the beginning bracket, we got to see both of what these guys have to offer in terms of their builds, some of their characters. Both of these guys have already lost, so they have the opportunity to change up, you know, their CAC, their presets. So I'm interested to see what they want to lead with. You know, they want to put their best foot forward to stay ahead in the losers bracket. So let's check it out. Okay, we're starting off with Psyker's Male Earthling versus Edgy's female, I forget. Well, anyway, the match is beginning. We see Psyker, in terms of normal bars, he has a bit of a stamina advantage. Oh, both these guys rocking Spirit Stab. That's unexpected. Or at least Psyker has, I believe it's, I think it's a Super Key Cannon, or my mind's all scattered. Key Blast Cannon. So he's unable to do that heavy Spirit Stab loop that's so devastating to your Limit Burst. However, Edgy seems to be able to. So we're going to be seeing whether or not that might come into play this match. We see that Edgy's more than happy to go and keep on doing his Burst Kamehameha into ×10. This is a lot of things to help him out during his original bracket run. And generally, like, the threat of all that is what's keeping his stamina a little bit above Psyker's at the moment. Psyker using the water obscuring him to throw out a pretty safe Energy Wave EWC. Energy Wave combo, right. And despite a few minor hiccups into the connection, these guys are still going strong. Psyker having this kind of hop back out, hop back in approach to it. However, it's keeping his stamina pretty dangerous. I worry for him because pretty soon Edgy might be able to get into one of her one of his Spirit Stab combos. Oh no! Edgy actually uses it to set up his Burst Kamehameha into his ×10. Very key intensive, but has the intended effect of forcing out the Limit Burst. Awesome perfect block from Edgy. Ooh, but misses the stamina break, giving Psyker a chance, but unfortunately that's perfect blocked as well. And that's blocked. Oh, God struck his anger. He couldn't quite get it off. So despite that strange little interaction there, we see that Edgy was still able to get the break and the connection into the perfect Kamehameha. Even though the Super Soul is boosting it, he still has a sliver of health to possibly make something happen. At that low stamina, anything's possible for sure. I believe he's packing Breaker Energy Wave, so oh. The fabled comeback couldn't quite happen. Edgy takes the first point. Very solid perfect block game from both of these guys. Very solid, you know, knowing your animations, knowing your cancels. Psyker, feeling the pressure. Another loss in this set, and he will be eliminated from the tournament. With how fast the last match went, in terms of how frenetically each interaction that took place, I have a feeling this is going to be just as exciting. Okay, here it goes. Psyker switching off to his male Saiyan. Since he only has one preset of the male Saiyan, we all know which one this is. Access to, pretty sure it's Super Saiyan Blue or Blue Evolved, as well as the very devastating Spirit Stab. When it comes to damage multipliers, you really don't want to let Psyker set up, or else, once you get into that dreaded stamina range, not even Limit Burst can save you. So far, he's doing a really good job getting Edgy there, reducing his health, reducing his stamina, winning his engagements. Playing pretty smart with his steps, landing the Super Drain, or no, it's the Drain Charge, right. Now Edgy's got very little key to work with. Ooh, but the Spirit Explosion into the Burning Shot doesn't quite connect. Got some of that. Is that a ladder combo? Leading into the burst Kamehameha, forcing the vanish. Ooh, both of these guys relatively equal. Luckily, Psyker's able to stay out of that burst Kame. Forcing the evasive through the use of Burning Shot. Very good. Even though we see quite a bit of a... Wow! Drain Charge takes away everything. And with a snipe from the Spirit Stab, Psyker evens up the numbers. Well done. We're going into game 3. Psyker will be forced to stay on his male Saiyan. Edgy has the opportunity to switch it up, though. Doesn't appear he does. Oh wait, I'm confused. Either way, the match begins. Oh right, yeah, that makes sense. I think. Edgy making good use out of that immediate ability. Wow! Perfect block on the Spirit Explosion. That was a nice interaction there. Costing both the contestants a couple bars of stamina. Now they seem to be playing it a little bit more carefully. Psyker taking good advantage out of all of his abilities to extend his combos through the use of his supers. I'm surprised. Burning Shot seems to give you the opportunity to block reactionary evasives like Spirit Explosion. He tries to go for the cheeky Drain Charge again. Finicky to land, but a great reward. Really good timing on that Spirit Explosion. But still, even despite throwing it out so often, Edgy has more than enough ki to just keep the onslaught coming. Some good being safe around the Spirit Stabs. And the perfect block to confirm the stamina break. But he doesn't have enough stamina himself to punish the LB. But it doesn't matter. Here it comes. For this tournament having gone on so long, I am very surprised that it took us until... it's pretty rarely that we really got to see the onslaught of heavy Spirit Stab, heavy Spirit Slap. Especially how, considering how devastating it is.
Let's go. Oh man, what a match. I was genuinely afraid I was gonna drop out of the tournament 0-2-0-2. But my hopes of making a comeback still alive.
It was pretty fun to see y'all have that back and forth with y'all's evasives and countering each other's evasives, especially with like follow-ups, burst kames, burning shots, all that.
Yeah, no, it's very it's a powerful thing to be able to use a follow-up to Spirit Explosion. Now that it's such a good evasive that people are using to punish limit burst, having a threat when you land in neutral against non-limit burst, it's already very beneficial. Up next, we have Z-Wolf and Fabled Enigma.
All right. Well played to Edgy. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, well played to Edgy. Very, very well played, and happy to have had such good matches with him.
Let's see, it was Fabled and Z-Wolf?
Yes, correct.
Oh, I remembered. I was like, oh man. I really didn't have an opportunity to get my water bottles, but then I remembered I didn't have any water bottles here.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the store after this.
Alright.
Here we have Fabled.
Fabled Enigma, the man himself.
Well,
A real pippiest person.
While I set up the names, do you remember these guys' runs during the original bracket?
Yeah, sure. Fable lost in the first round to Blades of Might, and Z-Wolf lost to the Super Itachi. A little bit of maybe a disparity in strength of first match, but both players very capable. Male Earthling versus Male Saiyan or Male Earthling as well, and we could see how these two contestants match up.
Oh, right, now I remember.
Gohan Blanco versus Brazil Man. So let's see if Z-Wolf can make Brazil campeão número 1 and all that shit.
What's the color white in Portuguese?
White, branco.
Branco.
Yeah. It's like blanco but with an R instead. So yeah, both these players just sort of sizing each other up. Z-Wolf bringing a different preset than originally, and we have no real good indication of what presets he's using, of course, unless this Super Soul lets you know. Awaken My True Power, that Super Soul is actually mislabeled. It says it boosts stamina recovery, it boosts ki recovery while transformed. It's still a very beneficial effect to have, on top of some minor stat boosts. And Z-Wolf just going for that fantastic neutral play while Fable just trying to get in, trying to get some supers in and just overall some good damage.
Oh wow, check out that way he evaded the Spirit Explosion.
Right? The steps have iframes is something people don't consider very often, but for male Earthlings who can step every 2 buttons, it's a very good interaction.
Well, here we go. We were wondering about where all the perfect blocks were back in the earlier bracket. These guys are just knocking them out left and right.
Right?
Oop. Wow,
Both
nice.
players, excellent players, and just struggling to get in on each other. And Fable going for the Saturday Crash loops. Of course, a very strong option.
Seals limit burst just as well as the Spirit Stab loop.
Oh, and goes for more Saturday Crash loops. Z-Wolf cannot burst right now in face of this. The span of Saturday Crash, it locks your burst, and it's a very good option. Goes for the Drain Charge, I believe it is. Drain Z-Wolf of Ki. Maybe not the most beneficial character to do it against, since Z-Wolf not using as many supers as Fable is right now, but still gets some good damage and finishes off with Energy Wave combo. Fantastic showing from Fable, then night and day compared to his initial set.
There we go. Just so funny to look at him.
Yeah. Fabled was debating between making a literal, just identical CAC to his Male Saiyan and just making an Earthling instead. But he realized he had that Gohan Blanco in store, and he just decided that would be the funnier option. And it's, well, that man is just a comedy master, as shown here.
Will we see a different Brazil man? We might see Thank you Dragon Balls come around.
True. The preset that brought his win against Preemy, we could see in making a return, and Thank you Dragon Balls, very strong soul. Could be very beneficial to have. Z-Wolf, this time getting in some good damage from the start. Very different from the first match where they were sizing each other up for quite a long time. But his stamina situation not looking great. It already has to vanish 3 times in a row. And Fable boasting his pretty much full stamina.
Ah, Savage Strike. This is the one.
Yeah, this is definitely the same preset we were talking just previously. Thank you Dragon Balls in store. Gotta watch out for that. But Fable, if he gets a good Saturday Crash loop going, he could not give Z-Wolf a chance to restore his stamina or health at all. That being said, Fable already on his last bar when Z-Wolf on his very first. So a much different look from the previous round just now.
I think that partly, well, we'll have to see how he makes use out of, his tools he has at his disposal, but I can speak from experience. Even from a health deficit this large, should he get the break, or, yeah, right now, thank you, Dragon Balls.
Z-Wolf goes for the Thank you, Dragon Balls, yes.
Very helpful, throwing a huge spanner into his idea, possibly going into the Saturday Crash loops, ending with a triumphant Breaker Energy Wave.
That's a bad limit burst, but Z-Wolf drops the punish and does not get much in return. If Fable gets here some good neutral wins, he could be taking this match still.
Oh yeah, he would probably have to play this next part very carefully. But he gets caught by a Dash and Lights.
Oh, is this enough to seal? No. The God Fist has no follow-up after it. Maybe being a little careful, don't want to maybe waste your stamina. Fable still has his evasive, which he can follow up with Energy Wave combo.
Yeah, now they're fishing for it. But, no more key. Ooh.
Oh.
Very nice.
Fable gets some hefty damage there.
Z-Wolf seems to accept it having happened, Oh, what's that a good idea?
Could this be it?
Oh.
No, punishes with the Soaring Fist. Almost an incredible comeback from contestant Fabled, but Z-Wolf just the presence of mind to just avoid it, read what his opponent's game plan was, and just punish it adequately. This is a very scrappy match between these two contestants, and it could be anyone's game going to this third round.
It looks like now Fable has the opportunity to switch to his Saiyan, but his human's done so well against Z-Wolf, granted, but these have been pretty close matches.
Yeah, it's... What the correct course of action is here is not clear at all. Fable he could rely on his performance so far with the human, or he goes straight to his Saiyan. And Z-Wolf probably content to just keep the same preset, keep Chunky Dragon Balls in his back pocket, which helped him greatly last match. It could have been a very different story if he didn't have it.
Here we go. One of these guys' last match of the tournament begins.
Yes, this is match point for these contestants, and whoever loses here is out of the tournament. Fable tried to be maybe a little funny, a little cheeky, just back it in place, expecting to catch Z-Wolf. Z-Wolf, of course, experienced player, will not fall for those shenanigans.
I would say the back hits are for sure formidable, at least in terms of how good they are at catching, but from range, it's really just leaving yourself open for a key stun or a Pearl Flash.
Yeah, very much so. Fable trying to punish with a Spirit Explosion, much like in my previous match, but does not manage to catch anything, was facing the wrong direction. Fable does have access here to Future Super Saiyan though, so he's and to Jump Spike, which he fails to catch in neutral. But
he fails to catch in the combo.
Yeah, well, I do not believe that's real in after the evasive there.
Block City.
Oh, but the back hits, those male same back hits are something else, dude.
Ooh.
Oh, but fails to punish the Spirit Sword. Unfortunate situation. Does drain Z-Wolf's stamina quite a bit though, and if Fable managed to catch him just a couple more times, that could seal the match.
In order to beat Spirit Sword, you have to go for a regular stamina break, right?
Yeah, or depends. Depends if it confirms. Here, there it confirms, so it did have super armor. Fable could have gone for the chart heavy, but he didn't believe it confirmed, so I think he was just trying to be cheeky.
Oh wow, was that the hitbox of Spirit Stab saving him from that Soaring Fist?
I believe so. Not too sure about that. Oh, and this might be it. Z-Wolf cannot burst this. No matter how it looks like, he cannot. And Fable take this. Wow. impressive showing from Fabled Enigma.
It's a
Z-Wolf,
very frightening
strong
strat.
Yeah. Z-Wolf a strong contestant, but sadly he does not make it far in the tournament. And Fabled will move on to the second round losers.
Well done to contestants. Those were really cool matches.
Agreed. Very well played from both sides.
Who's up?
I believe it's me and Blades with Might now, so that should be interesting. Another female Saiyan, potentially.
You can choose, you have to pick a litter when it comes to what you can bring into this match. Oh wait, no you can't, you won the last one, right?
Yep, yeah, I won the last one, so I'm locked into my male Saiyan. Blades, however, it's his first round of loser, so he's allowed to play whichever CC he so desires.
Best of luck to you both.
Alright. See you in a bit.
Ah, man. This song's the best. Okay, Blade's opening up with the time for a little nap, followed by the super explosive wave. Wondering whether, this immediate stamina deficit is going to come back to bite him. So far, Psyker's been doing a pretty good job getting some good hits in, winning the interactions. Oh, but Blades, here comes the Future Super Saiyan, increased stamina. Restoration, very good. Oh, he almost punishes the Spirit Explosion with the jump spike. Luckily, Psychers are able to get out of it. And yeah, we're seeing generally a more frenetic, but still neutral focus play style. Throwing out the O-Rains for safety. Throwing out the jump spike for very reliable damage. There goes almost half of Psyker's health bar, just like that. I think Blades knows full well. Once Psyker gets going, it's going to be very difficult to deal with his damage output. Even despite all of it, Psyker still has almost 2 whole bars above Blades at the moment. Ooh, Ilrain saving him though. Now both of them, dangerous. Oh! And there he goes, comboing the Drain Charge into the Spirit Stab. Just as we'd seen in the previous match, Blades rightfully, corrects himself with the use of a super explosive wave. Smartly punishing the end lag of the Spirit Stab with the jump spike. Not enough to kill him because of the armor. But 2 of them, yeah, 2 of them will do it. With his ability to make a note out of Psyker's end lag on many of his moves, he takes the first point. A strategy to go way harder on the jump spikes might be very good. We've seen very few people know to, or at least go for interrupting jump spikes as opposed to just avoiding them normally. Since Psyker lost it, he has to go to a different... he has the ability to check a different one. He goes for his Feel Majin, who has the ability to, on a charged heavy, poison the opponent. Last Otherworld tournament, we saw a lot of use... Oh, and he gets it off immediately. Sure, the passive health degen is one thing, but the nerf on stamina recovery is by far the premier effect of it. With that low stamina, ooh. Let's see how Blades deals. Yep. Oh, Dragon Burn. He tries to go for that, that way that with standing evasives that you can just force him to just use it over and over again to escape it. Doesn't quite work out. One thing Psyker has on his side is that he got to practice pretty much all week with someone who uses a whole bunch of Jump Spike. Stamina broken. Limit Burst popped. Ooh, but now it's Psyker in a desperate situation. Yeah, Blade's more than content throwing out, you know, Pearl Flashes, Jump Spikes, hoping to get lucky with a hit. Meanwhile, Psyker trying to get a little bit of stamina. Meanwhile, the poison ticks off. Slowly, but surely. Ooh, punishes the miss. But gets nailed by the Pearl Flash. And the Jump Spike. Blades. Moving on. You can tell in this match, so much of it was about them having seen previous matches, you know, them knowing, okay, I have to watch out for this, I have to watch out for this. And also, you know, I've made it to losers. I'll take what I've learned from previous matches, bring it into this one. Which brings us to the result. Well done.
Oh man, GG's. I was trying. I didn't realize I had a fast break there. My brain just shut off. I should have gone for excellent full course. I tried to get greedy and get the Breakless Soul Punisher off. Failed, and well, GG's to Blades of Might. Hopefully they advance well in the tournament, and good stuff from them. Hope they have a good showing going forward.
Okay. Who's next?
All right. Next should be Pocky and Fabled Enigma.
Alrighty.
While this match unfolds, I'll be right back. Just a second.
Alright. Going into this match hoping that Fabled isn't starting to feel the effects of fatigue going through this many matches in a row. Almost in a row. Uh-oh. Hello, hello? EAC! Oh no! We can try again. A horrible glitch that is the sole reason for this tournament's 1 hour delay has reared its ugly head. One of our contestants getting kicked out of the match due to EAC. For no real reason. Okay, we're gonna hope it works again. Ooh. And that's the weird thing, because
I'm back.
Pocky, we had an EAC crash.
Oh.
I'm gonna attribute it to Pocky joining by himself, and just hope that by inviting him normally, it'll be fine.
Yeah, let's see, because that's very worrisome if Pocky just can't compete after already having had a match in this tournament. We don't fully understand the glitch that's afoot right now, but There's definitely something weird going on.
We'll give our contestant a little bit more time to get back in. I'll take this moment to review. Oh yeah, Baki with his male Saiyan and his male Earthling. So that means we might see. We're very likely to see at least male Earthling versus male Earthling, or male Saiyan versus male Saiyan, or a combination.
Yeah, it will be a real treat to see the mirror match, as it were, between these two players. I believe Fable is locked into his male Saiyan, but Baki has complete freedom of choice since he got in losers. This is first round of losers, where since he's lost to Felix, so he is completely free to choose whichever he may. And what do you feel is the correct choice here versus Fable's male Saiyan multi?
I want to say, well, of course I want to say it's Earthling, because frankly, I hardly play Saiyans. I'm not too familiar with all their great strengths, but if I want a really frenetic, fast match that ends super quickly, I might prefer him going the route of his Saiyan, you know, so that these guys can just XY, knock away, follow up with each other until one of them drops.
An interesting thing to note is that both Baki and Fable both have male Saiyans with irritating little pass Super Soul, which is a very aggressive soul, mostly focused on high damage supers and just attack burst, just trying to nuke your opponent's health away as fast as you possibly can. So yeah, let's see. And he'll do just that. Baki is bringing his male Saiyan, irritating little pass version, and this is basically as close of a ditto as we're ever gonna get in this tournament.
We see Pocky, it appears he has a bit of a stamina advantage, naturally.
Yeah.
Ooh, but...
Yeah, Fable trying to get that evasive out, get a punish out of that. Pocky just content to deal very minor damage, and goes for his Chaos Wall evasive. Does not manage to catch the God Fist, so Fable gets a good chance here to win neutral twice in a row even, and deal a chunk of its own punishing supers.
Fable finds himself in a really good position, or at least he did before he had to Spirit Explosion. But here he is. He has his Awoken out.
Yeah, and Palki has a 3-bar evasive, let be reminded. So Palki's stamina not looking great, and this combo is gonna drain a lot of his health. Fable trying to catch the Vanish there with a grab super. This is not the greatest connection, but definitely still not laggy enough that it would completely invalidate a Vanish like that.
Oh wow! Did he nail the he nailed the blast version of that? How did he do that?
Yeah,
because you always teleport and then you do the punch version.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the difference in that situation is, but Fable was content to just 1H Spirit Stab and he'll finish Pocket off with just a couple repetitions of that combo.
The threat of it is so severe that it makes you realize, like, for the entirety of the match, I want to be careful against this guy. I'm wondering whether Pocky has that going through his mind as well, or how he might adapt going into the next one. Now he has
very much so. The complete invalidation of burst on top of the massive damage that comes out of it, unless you're expecting it and burst in advance, you just need to be very careful and just might even consider bursting earlier in the match without being close to low stamina, just to have that advantage not being completely stolen away from you. Palki goes into his male Earthling right now. Both bit of a similar look in CACs. Of course, different races.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would you compare? I remember you were talking to me about this earlier. Your way of describing your comparison between male Earthlings and male Saiyans.
All right. Well, male Saiyans, they have a very oppressive neutral, right? They have they throw out hitboxes very fast, and on top of that, like very far-reaching hitboxes. Those multiple kicks right there almost tag Pocky from very far away. But male Earthlings have a lot of safety to go with them. You have your step cancels, like it's very tricky, and Fable already doing a great job of wasting Pocky's stamina and giving him a few loops. And that clash is just gonna help Fable further increasing his ki.
Oh, but we see Pocky throwing out some loops of its own.
Yeah, and interesting choice by Fable not to evasive any of that. He took maybe a little bit of a considerable amount of damage, but
I guess it was to perhaps regenerate his ki.
Yeah. Wow, he might seal the match just right now, not giving even a slight chance to evasive or to even limit burst at all from Pocky. And Fable takes the match, advances to face on Ravi in the third round of losers. Very good showing for Fable, and hopefully he continues to tear through losers bracket as he have in such clean fashion so far. Next up, we should have the Super Itachi versus Blaze of Might. A bit of an EU matchup once again after those two contestants, after Blades had to face a bit of an unfavorable connection, you might say.
Man, don't you just love punctuality?
Let's go.
As we update these names, this is actually kind of a match that I am generally excited to see. Not necessarily that I saw it coming, but I just kind of like seeing these two EU bros go at it.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
I would say if he wasn't running his Earthling, both of these guys would kind of be running almost similar setups with like neutral inspired supers, but
yeah, just a lot of key super or super attack spamming in general benefit by that little nap super soul. And wow, this is like potentially Blade's best showing in tournament so far. So he has a lot of proof, especially against an opponent of the caliber of Super Itachi. So let's see how he can perform right now.
Making use out of key stuns, you know, throwing out. Just wanting to get a whole bunch of hitboxes out, I guess. Keep combos
Yeah, for
going.
sure. And especially useful versus jump spike. You can, if you toss out enough key blasts, you can usually interrupt it before it starts, and it's a very threatening move. So it's taking out of the board before it starts like that is definitely one of the best ways to handle it.
Ooh. Well, I wish I could say narrowly avoiding the jump spike and being countered by one of its own, but I can never tell. You know what occurs to me? We're kind of seeing a bit of a spiritual successor to a previous tournament we had. Round 1, Blaze Might. He went up against it was a mentor of someone that had Pearl Flash, wasn't it?
I'm not entirely too sure, but yeah, Blaze of Might went up against Pseudonym last tournament, and in the 15 Tenkaichi Budokai. It wasn't Pearl Flash, but it was a very similar setup with with a Gallic Gun and a few very neutral intensive supers, 2 counters and all that. And Blades had a tough time adjusting to the more sort of like passive play. So we see him from him right now, just a great adjustment, just good execution on against this kind of strategy.
What do we even call that? Jump clash, spike clash, or something.
Yeah, just a clash of jump spiker, just both grabs nullifying each other, a grab tech, and Itachi content to just go for the Hakai ball there, but I'm not quite sure what hit him, if it was jump spike or something else. Both these players at their last bits of health, and Blade still has his limit burst, but if he mistimes it, it could be over for him.
Ah, man. Such a near miss with that.
Oh, the Pearl Flash will instantly punish the jump spike, and maybe the fact that moves so slow, maybe coming back to bite him a little bit.
Alright, Blades.
Blades leading up. Bit of an upset even against Super Itachi. Good showing for him so far.
And of course, he only has the one preset, the one character. So that's just what he's bringing back in.
Yeah, very true. And of course, Blades only having to bring 3 carrots, bringing 3 carrots of his has to stick out with this one, as he has won this match. So just a bit of a rematch of the previous round, and those heal reigns catching Super Itachi when he goes for those supers. So, you know, a huge benefit to having those zoning moves, as it were, in that circumstances.
Despite his frightening stamina deficit, Blades is doing an exceptional job, you know, getting his damage out through the use of his Pearl Flies, through the use of his jump spikes, keeping the game almost even while still regenerating stamina.
Yeah, very much anyone's game right now. Close health, close stamina. Super Itachi leading just a little bit, but with those supers, stamina as a mechanic has been very much circumvented right now. And I mean, you can't do anything against those supers. They're so fast, they're so unpredictable even. And Blaze trying to predict there with an invasive, gets punished and gets chased down with a jump spike, even in the game 1-1.
I'm thinking of a pretty good .ot9 command.
Well, I'm excited for that.
Here we go. Game 3.
Game 3. The winner of this advances to loser semifinals. And, well, the tournament, this is pretty much near the end of the tournament. Once we're done with this, the tournament should be concluding the next 4 matches. So let's see what both these contestants bring here. Their match point, last lifeline to continue in the tournament. And hopefully, especially important for Super Itachi to just get you know, those points for winning in regular tournaments, maybe pulling ahead of Felix. Let's see what he brings out to the fold. Oh, and Blades will switch cacks.
Looks like it's Male Saiyan.
Yeah, Male Saiyan versus Male Earthling. Some old-fashioned, like, honest universe at play here.
Oh man, I hope so. Ugh.
Yeah, anything but here, honestly, with those super attacks, and the meta has developed for this tournament. A lot of neutral play just being circumvented, but both CAC races, very strong neutral, very for for Mill Earthling, doubly so, very, very safe. Good priority.
Oh, wow.
And perfect blocks the Super Saiyan 3, but doesn't manage to get the slowdown, it seems.
Not to mention our first Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah. Super Saiyan 3, of course, stacking on a lot of damage. If the fights continue to be airborne, actually not as huge of a stamina deficit either. So it's all about that key and, of course, how good he can maintain control of the neutral, which doesn't seem to be very good at all. But as I say that, he managed to catch him with the knockback into the God Fist, I believe it was.
But ooh. If you were to get a break on Itachi, do you think he has enough time to? Yeah, I'm sure he would, but
it ultimately does not matter. Itachi gives him his goodbye for the rest of the tournament and just advances to semifinals with the series closing out 2-1.
We're heading into the home stretch of this tournament, aren't we?
Yep, very much so. We should be seeing right now Revi versus Fabled Enigma to close out the losers quarterfinals and bringing us to the last 3 matches of this tournament.
That's him. I'm surprised. I thought he was a. Now I never have to play Cax again. I thought he was a Cax player.
No, I don't believe so. Blades, more well known for his hit play as well as Jacko. It just almost opposite ends of the spectrum of what's considered a good character. But as we see right now, of course, he had a very good CAC game to play, and great showing for him so far.
Good Purg block to start off the match from Revi. He's already anticipating vanishes, trying to get some cheeky charged heavy breaks, but
right.
It looks like Fable's playing this pretty safe.
Mm-hmm. And now Future Super Saiyan, of course, will help him regen some of the stamina, just forced Revi to have to win out more neutral interactions.
Ooh, a flash
and the
skewer.
flash skewer. Don't see that very often, but it's a very strong restand.
P block City with Fabled at the disadvantage.
Yeah, not by much though, however. And Fabled, of course, Revi taking the opportunity to regain some stamina, but Fabled not too far behind. And lands a jump spike boosted by the retaining little peso. It's gonna end 2 jump spikes, equalizing the health situation almost completely.
Oh. Gotta get a couple key. That's what that Super Soul regenerates, right?
Yeah. It saps key from the opponent, I believe. Or at least gives you key on contact.
Awesome, perfect block on the charged heavy. One of my favorite things to do and watch.
Yeah, it's very much. You just can't help but feel like you're a sicko when you do that, right? Fable trying to delay the jump spike, maybe get some extra cheeky damage there, but unfortunately his stamina is gone and so is his health, and he gets grabbed by the Darkness Rush, finishing off the match. Revi leads the series 1-0.
That's surprising. I thought it didn't kill until the last blast. Regardless. I just love that use of a Feint Crash there. to
Yeah,
get right
Faint
down
Crash.
in there.
Faint Crash, phenomenal super. Maybe a little bit overlooked given the options that we have available right now. Strong showing from Revi, and let's see if Fable can bounce back and give us a third round here in this follow-up round.
Let's see. If what would you do going into this match, knowing okay, well I tried these strategies as Mamil's saying, but it didn't work out in my favor. What would I want to try out next?
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Fable brought both male human and male Saiyan, but they're sporting a very similar strategies, just one based on ki and one based on strike. So he's bringing out his male human right now. I imagine the reason for that is more considering of the neutral play, much more than just the fact that he wants a different game plan. Realistically, he wants the exact same game plan, but the added safety of male Earthling.
Oh man, he went for the block again. Wow.
Yeah. Fable, honestly, a bit of a sequel sometimes, and he gets going. And managed to link anti-ray combo after the evasive. Very strong option, and Revi right now not looking good, both in stamina and health department.
In trying to expect an evasive or a vanish, unfortunately drops a bit of a combo there, but
yeah, it's very true. All right, both contestants getting their potential unleashed online, and Fable always looking to just deal a decent bit of damage, and Revi goes for the optimistic Darkness Rush there. Fable a little bit too much stamina to fall for that, and a little bit too much startup to get affected by the DD.
that was pretty smart of him not to have thrown out the Saturday Crash upon seeing his stamina regenerate that much.
Yeah, it's very true. And that's a crucial element to those loops, right? You just gotta pay very close attention to your opponent's stamina and just deal as much as you can. And
oh wow, is that what he was going for against me?
Those grab loops, getting Revi a lot of mileage there. Unfortunately, not gonna work off of the stage, but Faint Crash bypassing neutral interaction and just punishing Fable 2-0.
Well done. Now that I got to see it firsthand, I really like that combo. It's mean though. It's sort of like his version of like a Saturday Crash loop, in that you can probably loop that.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost any ki to, so it's very advantageous. Only works on the ground though, so it's one consideration to keep in mind. But all right, very impressive showing from Revi, and we should be seeing now he advancing to loser semifinals and facing off against the Super Itachi.
So Psyker, would you say that Revi's choice of, or at least like anyone's choice of whether they have three created characters or two, and then two presets of one, and then one of another, or just all of one? Do you think any of those have had like a really meaningful like competitive effect on this tournament?
Perhaps in some head-to-head matchups, but as Super Itachi has shown here, even one good successful character is good enough if you play well enough. I strive to have a balance of like a clear trade-off between using multiple CCs, because that offers so much more versatility, and I feel like it's up to people to decide whether that trade-off is worth it. And both sides of the spectrum very successful so far, so it's honestly achieved the desired effect, I would say.
Oh man, that was risky. But well done for these
Yeah.
guys, playing around each other's mistakes, countering very immediately.
Yeah, it's very true. Ravi, once again, going for those darkness rushes. Maybe he's used to a little bit of a surprise element that's definitely not present in this tournament, and maybe optimistic in believing that those combos will work when the opponent has so much stamina to spare.
Though I think there's a lot of pragmaticism to be noticed in how he's not running his VOD set at all ever since he started his losers run. Even though as like one created character with 3 presets, he can change whatever he wants.
Yeah, very true. And wow, Revi just managing to get the best of Super Itachi here. Just his health not looking great, and already with a health burst of, I guess it just goes down to a battle of stamina right now.
Man, these feint crashes are so useful. At every opportunity, he can just try and get one of those cheeky hits, but still be very safe afterward.
Yeah, it's a very great super, and honestly, again, a bit of an overlooked one.
But a dangerous position here, stamina-wise, from Revi. Will it miss? Oh, yes. Awesome, he didn't have to waste a limit burst there.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, but this one doesn't look like it'll... Oh, it does! A second
The
time!
Justice combo drops, jeez. You must be beating yourself right now if you're Super Itachi. Once again going for a combo that maybe not the most reliable right now.
I wonder if Revi knew that, and that's why he's holding on to his burst.
Yeah, you have to imagine that might be the case. Either way, it's probably favored to just hold the burst to the later portion of JC, so he has enough time to evaluate if it's gonna actually land or not. And Super Itachi being a bit more cautious right now with those of those interactions, just going back to the neutral supers that brought him so much success so far. And the perfect block to the grab. Revi, bit of an upset right here. And I mean, once again, Super Itachi with his back against the wall, with his tournament life on the line right now, and looking to stay in the game right now.
If I were Revi, I'd feel cautiously optimistic, because you know, if I was able to handle this preset, it's not like he can throw me a curveball with something brand new.
Yeah, very much so. When facing against Super Itachi, you know exactly what to expect every time, and definitely not the case with Revi. Same visually looking presets, but a lot of versatility, and he knows his CAC inside and out. Fantastic performance for him so far.
Goes for it. Oh, goes for it twice. Just a grab to, you know, get some nice guaranteed damage to start the round off, but not working out. Ooh.
Yeah, those grabs from female humans at the floor, very dangerous, very obtuse. You saw how well it worked versus Fabled, so he can potentially get a great mileage out of that, just drain a lot of stamina, get her a lot of ki. But Super Itachi, fantastic adaptation, just not letting him get in at all, and just dishing out as much damage as humanly possible.
That ability that Perflash has to just like cross up a person if they're evasiving or transforming is like, wow, that's a
Very
fantastic
valuable
ability.
Yeah, no, very much so. The fact that he crosses them up in a game where slow turnaround is something that happens sometimes. It can definitely be a difference maker. A Pro Flash, very, very strong super.
Both of these guys going for the little tricks. Shame it doesn't work out. I figured it would have been able to grab the jump spike.
Yeah, no, both grabs hit boxes. At worst, they would have nullified each other, but jump spike does interact with stamina super armor, just breezes past before the ult is even resumed. But Revi back against the wall right now, and Super Itachi might be bringing us to a round 3 once again, with Revi's stamina situation looking very grim, and him not having any success in dodging those jump spikes right now.
You know, you could say that one consequence of this is that he's not able to really force too much stamina use out of Itachi. Not too many very hard-hitting supers or really easy to use ultimates.
Yeah, I agree, Multi. Does matter right now? Stamina, a little bit of an afterthought in some considerations, and they're showing us why. It's just very, very quick interactions with dealing a little bit of damage each time, and it's just hard to get a hold of your opponent's stamina, right? And well, Revi is still being forced to evasive though, forced to vanish because of Earthling's oppressive supers, oppressive neutral rather.
Can't quite score that grab combo. But I can
Yeah,
tell he's
a little
going
bit
for
too
it.
high up. And the combo into jump spike will not finish it, but Revi right now, I mean, we've seen crazier comebacks this tournament, but it's not looking good for him.
And that's all you need. Dashing heavy,
Yeah.
Pearl Flash.
Yeah, very much so. Super Itachi bringing us to a game 3, evening up the score 1-1.
I'm getting tired just watching this. I can only imagine how it must be like to have to fight against it.
Well, you will get that experience, right? Whoever advances here goes up to fight you in losers final, so you better start bracing yourself, man.
Does Turn Giant beat Pro Flash? Or no, it doesn't. No, right. It doesn't beat. It beats Jump Spike.
It beats Jump Spike completely, but it does not beat Pro Flash. It will still chunk down your stamina a little bit, but you can interrupt Pro Flash before it starts with your massive jump giant hitboxes. So, I mean, it's a matchup of that's not so clear which way it goes. Pro Flash does not have a vulnerability like something like, say, Angry Hit does.
Being able to just equalize that stamina he had to pay at the beginning of the match just by winning neutral.
Yeah, that's so very strong if you have especially like those races that are very good at winning neutral, male human and female Majin especially, and that's why you see most people use that so far.
And he's more than happy to just get those clashes so he can have more ammunition for all of his supers there.
Yeah, very much so. Clash is honestly benefiting Itachi in a great deal right now, just allowing him to regain stamina, allowing him to build up ki, and just a very fearsome position to be in against this very strong male Earthling.
Ooh, but the armor on that Eagle Kick, getting finally some good damage.
Yeah, that preset we haven't seen as much from it, but Eagle Kick, very strong super, very strong option, and we should be seeing what Revi plans to do with it. But as I say that, he throws out those random striker revelations, and against a player like Super Itachi, you're just are never gonna hit those.
How's he gonna deal with this really distressing position?
I don't believe he will. Even if he bursts right now. Oh, he gets an XV2 and evasive, but chooses to burst instead.
And he
Goes for the
managed
eagle
to
kick, but
block it. Whoa,
yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, right? It's
And once
pretty
again,
good option.
that Striker Revolution not helping him out on a knockaway.
And the random Pearl Flash in neutral will clip him and seal his chances of continuing the tournament. Super Itachi advances 2-1. Every time, man, Super Itachi with his back against the wall, usually losing the first match and managed to pull off the comeback. Let's see if he has what it takes to beat Multi in a best of 5 set in losers finals.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, both contestants have joined the room, and this match will be deciding who advances to grand finals to face off against Felix. And both these players will be rematching Felix if they advance, and whoever loses here gets a respectable third place in this tournament. Good luck to both contestants, and let the games begin. Multi-evaluating his choices a little bit, deciding what to use in terms of presets, and decides to go with the standard Male Earthling. Just, again, some honest universe, just Male Earthlings. Let's go. Wow, starting off very nicely with a grab, and Multi just doing some good damage in, getting up some key, and maintaining his white health even. A clash giving both these contestants a lot of key to work with. Both very content to have key with their very strong super attack options. Multi goes for the handy cannon, manages to stop Super Itachi's initiation, but gets caught by the jump spike after going for the back hit there. A little bit of a mistake maybe, and now paying dearly in stamina for it, but as I say that, manages to get the Pearl Flash startup with the handy cannon, and managed to equalize the stamina situation a lot actually. Super Itachi forced to go for the limit burst there, not wanting to waste any more of stamina. And Multi managed to recover quite a bit right now. Situation a lot more even, and those handy cannons stuffing any startup, any approach that Super Itachi might think of. Goes for the limit burst. It's a super armor limit burst, but once again, those are vulnerable to jump spike itself, so has to be very wary of Super Itachi's next moves. And the jump spike will catch him as his back's against the wall. Multi struggling a little bit with his positioning on the map, trying to go for the perfect block there, managed to get him, but immediately hit by the jump spike. Unavoidable. Unavoidable damage sealing off the match. Super Itachi leads 1-0. I can't believe what I just read, Fable. Don't be saying that kind of shit. Yeah.
I can say everything, right?
Yeah. Or rather, you can play whatever you lost. Multi evaluating his choice a little bit, whether to stay at his current preset, and decides to do so. Maybe expecting better performance, just a cleaner play, and largely a better result in this matchup, head to head. Custom multi, just beckoning Super Itachi to get in. He'll do just that. A little bit of a flash for both these contestants, not terribly beneficial for either of them, or rather, not lopsided either way. Gets a good damage with Pearl Flash, does it again, and goes for the jump spike. Just rhythmically using supers over and over, trying to get some good damage. Multi decides to counteract with the dashing half into energy wave combo, a very strong option to just even up the health lead and potentially Itachi back on the ropes. Cannot manage to do so though, and Confusion Blade on top of it does not get dispelled, and it's gonna force Multi on the back foot once again. Those heavy cannons keep clipping Super Itachi, but while he was underwater, managed to get hit by the jump spike. Hard to see opponent animations in the water. Goes for the Phantom Fist, but doesn't manage to get much out of it. Still gets hit anyway. And those grabs, those jump spikes, Multi is fearing for his life right now with just an inch of health and will get hit by jump spike once again.
Dog, I can't XY if he's gonna be Pearl Flashing. What are you talking about? I mean, I could, I guess. Okay, but he's going in expecting to time skip. I have an idea.
Let's go. That's the multi. Maybe a little bit of an adaptation here. And let's see if we can bring the series back. Maybe a bit of a reverse sweep even, potentially. And let's see what he has in mind versus Super Itachi. Misses the Ki Blast cannon, but forces out Super Itachi's stamina. That mechanic not to be underestimated, and was also what brought Multi one of his best results against Felix. So he's hoping to replicate that. Jump Spike, of course, struggling to seal actually the match versus the Mechanic Regeneration, and the Paralyzed Ki Blast, a little bit of an interesting play there, denying Super Itachi the chance to regen some stamina on the ground, and following up very nicely with damage. Just looking for those Soaring Fist opportunities as much as he can. Just not giving any quarter and leading very considerably in stamina right now. You get hit by two jump spikes and almost get hit by a third, but managed to evade just in time and get the freeze off. And paralyzes Super Itachi, but doesn't trust that the Ki Blast will hit. Just stop vanishing around, trying to get some Ki. Understandable choice. Believing Ki might be the solution to evening out this match. And if Multi doesn't watch out, this could be the end of his tournament life right now. Super Itachi just content to try perfect block there. It's gonna have a nice chunk of damage hitting him. And a grab. Those Namekian grabs, very damaging, very scary. Oh, but has a super armor limit burst. Tries to counter grab the jump spike, will not connect, but the fact that the super armor limit burst once again coming in clutch, but sadly it will not be enough, and the Pro Flash connecting after with.
No, you saw that. I thought I had like time to queue up something.
I know. I
well.
know. It's fine.
GG's, Creamy. I was really happy I got to play against a really good male Earthling. I don't like, all that role-playing nonsense, but good games. I can't wait to improve for next time.
Yeah, very good showing for you, Multi, and happy you...
Well, listen, dog, okay? In the context of the tournament rule set, tell me what that is, you know? And besides, like, when it was down to neutral, which was when it did come down to the XY, it wasn't very long, granted, but when it was, I had fun. That was really, I thought he did good, It's the spam stuff I have to adjust to. I have made my case.
After making a great statement there, truly, this fantastic game of Xenoverse right now. We're enjoying this tournament. And alright, Super Itachi advancing on to Grand Finals, facing off against Felix once again. Felix, of course, lost the first round to him, but then won the subsequent the two following rounds very, very dominantly. Let's see if Felix continues to show his dominance or if he's gonna succumb versus the might of Super Itachi.
There you are. Okay. Grand Finals? Wow. It's been quite
Felix
the journey.
Already, yeah, it's definitely been quite a wild ride. And Felix already DMing me asking if it's a bracket reset if he loses. And already showing again a little bit of his cocky attitude that lost in that match against you. Just saying he can take it easy that if he can afford to do a bracket reset. Yeah, Ravi, that was an excellent showing. I am looking forward to more of you in tournaments, especially CEC tournaments. I think that's very much up your alley, and you could have a real chance at winning a future one.
needless to say, I'm looking into this match really interested. Is this the first time we've seen his, no, right? No, yeah,
No,
yeah, he beat me with it. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm interested about is, let him take a nap. Symbolic. When it comes to how he uses jump spike, I think it's a little bit different than, I mean, it's tough to say, right? But usually when I go up against like Fable, say, and when he uses jump spike, I just usually, every time we're in a neutral situation, I just load him down with key stuns, to like try and cancel it. And against Creamy, he actually, you know what I mean, he actually tries to, play the game against you, and then once you're in this vulnerable situation, that's when he starts doing it, when you don't have time to like think, he's about to use his jump spike, I better use my key stuns, or maybe I just don't have the opportunity. So, even with a very, I want to say centralizing, but a very exceptionally successful strategy and move during this tournament, still has some depth into its use that makes it go from really good and dumb to really, really good and really, really dumb.
Very true. Very well said. And one thing to note of interest that whenever female Majins have been done in the move in this tournament so far, they have looking for opportunities to combo into it a lot more than, say, Creamy's neutral users. So I'm very interested to see how Felix goes here. Going for those God Fists, of course, a much faster deploy time than Jump Spike, but sadly whiffs it and gets immediately punished with a Jump Spike that will seal the first round. Super Itachi leads up 1-0.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Felix switch off of the Majin. Probably to, is Namekian? Yeah, I was right.
Hell yeah, nice read. And yeah, of course, one of the biggest weaknesses, I would say, of Jump Spike insofar has been sealing off those matches. It's a very good, strong super in neutral, but especially versus Felix Namekian, which takes very much reduced damage near at the tail end of itself. This could be very difficult to actually seal the match, and we saw from Felix before he beat Creamy in very much the same fashion, using his Namekian, and Creamy or Super Itachi struggling to just deal much against that regen. Felix just dragging it back from close to a 2-bar health deficit, and we could be seeing very much the same story repeat right now. Oh, the Super God Shock Flash, beautifully countering the Jump Spike, and well,
a really good chunk of damage too. That's strike investment for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Going into this tournament, do you think that Felix put a lot of stock into some other aspects of his Namekian, such as its size or its width, when it comes to his general game plan of really nailing these strike supers and doing so much damage with his normals?
I believe it's standard for Namekians to be max sized because of the health bonus they get, but I think Felix's Namekian is mid-sized, so he's probably just going more for an aesthetic purpose than a strategic one, is what I mean to say. English is very hard, ladies and gentlemen, but
he gets caught
right now. Yeah, tries to do the same punish play, just iframe through it with God Fist, cannot achieve it. Very tough timing to nail down, but yeah, exactly the same story of their previous encounter, and Felix having the opportunity here to just you know, regen a lot of health and seal the game with those very strong supers. All right, if we're evened up, and we'll keep seeing those two same characters. Super Itachi, of course, only brought a single preset, a single character. Felix can't afford to switch because of his win, and just exactly what you expect out of basically a rehash of their first encounter in the bracket.
What I'm interested by is that after mid strike really has been useful during this set here, getting out really cheeky time skips, but it's been reliable. It's not something that's when someone figures out like, oh, okay, he's teleporting around, bonk, I got you easily. No, it's legit.
Yeah, very much so. Especially paired with the counter, it's hard to just reliably punish it because, well, they can always throw the counter in there, just catch you and deal a whole load of damage instead of getting punished.
Yeah, these guys are not spending a single second, trying to bait someone into a certain thing. They try to go for perfect blocks, but no longer than maybe half a second. They go for they don't go for charged hits at all.
Yeah, very much so.
They know at the level of safety Itachi's Earthling is, and at the level of strength that Felix's Namekian is. It's no good trying to think that you got the other guy's number.
Yeah, very much so. And Spirit Archie forced to burst early, and Felix still with his burst in store, still with his super effects, super soul effect in store, just quite content with his full bar of health lead, his stamina lead, and just leading resources, dealing damage in spades, and just there's nothing this Namekian can't do apparently.
Blocking against Itachi's Earthling, one of the worst things you can do. Oh, nice. Oh, never mind.
Very. Oh, and flies right back into it. Jesus, and that seals the match. Jeez. Felix leading up with a quick 2-0 or 2-1 rather, and exactly the same score they had when Felix sent Creamy to losers. So very, very strong showing. Very dominant fashion so far. Oh man, and this harks back also that dispute of Felix and Super Itachi both vying for that spot of captain in the Universal Tournament, and Felix is in good position to just seal the match and hug that spot out for himself with a tournament win. So let's see what both these contestants show in this, especially match point of this tournament.
That was pretty good. He kind of spent like a little bit of a second one, stay on the ground, get at least a smidge of stamina regen. Ooh, he might need a lot more. As of now, he's going to need quite a bit more stamina to even it back up with Itachi there.
Oh yeah, I got so caught up in the action, ladies and gentlemen, that we forgot. But this is potentially match point of grand final. So let's cue up some fitting music for this instance.
Well, certainly. With low stamina, halfway and lower health, wondering how Itachi's going to be able to even things back up here in this match.
Yeah, this is pretty much the same result as or same story as last time, but Super Itachi playing more defensive right now, playing for the stamina game, and it's paying off. Felix stamina looking pretty low, the health deficit almost covered right now, and going for some pure raw damage options, completely ignoring the previous jump spike, the oppressiveness of jump spike, vying for those neutral wins, and Super Itachi might have a second lease in life here, and who knows, we could see even a bracket reset happening right now.
Not enough stamina. He doesn't quite set up for much of a punish. But still, he takes it right back. And the God Fist taking out a gnarly amount of health, considering the burst.
Yeah, very much so. Felix's stamina is still a bit in danger, and if Itachi has enough damage to seal this match off, this could be his game stake.
This is a horrible time for Felix to get a little bit too punishment heavy.
Yeah, very much so. And Felix, stamina situation not looking good, and despite his cushion of health and the Super Soul on top of it, really hard to get through.
Okay.
Will Super Itachi have enough damage to seal this match off? It does not look like it so far, but he's content to throw out the super, just add in a little bit of pressure, a bit of some zoning moves.
Wisely using his after-mid strike, getting a little bit more stamina regen. Staying.
Yeah, not a lot of E to work with now, though. And that could definitely be a deciding factor in this match. Both matches, players having a very... excuse me?
Whoa.
Well, Super Itachi quite content to just regen almost all his stamina just from juggle from those key blasts. Not a lot of damage to be found there. And, Felix getting a little bit cocky again. Once again, he said he was gonna perhaps take it easy. And, this could come back to bite him just the same as it did before.
Now Itachi out of key, lower stamina. Meanwhile, Felix regenning all the time.
Not a lot of key to work with for Felix though. If he gets caught, he could be punished pretty hard.
1 minute on the clock.
This could lead to a timeout. You're right.
Will we see any dashing heavies to just get safe damage off of him? No. He seems to be. Oh, he's going for the timeout. He's going for it.
He's going for it, dude. The sheer disrespect to him versus Super Itachi. And Super Itachi looking for those clean checks of damage with dashing heavy, as I said. But Felix, so much stamina to counter this with, on top of the health lead.
30 seconds. Every step vanish Felix does gets him more. Every P block gets him more key he can use to just run out the timer still more. Will this be our first timeout of the tournament?
It might be the most important timeout of the tournament if Super Itachi doesn't manage to even out health enough to win this round. This could be the end. This could be
5,
being crowned
4, 3, 2, 1.
Is this what the percentage
Sink, dude.
is Felix the champion? Felix is the new greatest above the heavens. Taking this in a disrespectful fashion against Super Itachi, just winning it all right now with a timeout to boot.
Itachi lay in ruins, his pride freed, his internet access taken away by his mom.
Oh man.
Your champion of the 9th Otherworld tournament, Felix.
Yes, Felix, the new greatest above the heavens, and reigning champion. TOURNEY sadly not here for any ceremonial matches, anything like that. So that's it. Thank you all for coming, and congrats, Felix. A very strong showing, something that no player could find a way to pierce through and just break, and well, that's it.
Oh man, remember when he brought in his male Majin and it was like, and then he never used it for the rest of the tournament. But when he
Right?
did, it was so scary. We got to see some of his
Yeah.
female Majin, but especially his Namekian. At every turn,
Yeah.
just had like a tool, and his health regen really came in clutch so hard, as well as after mid-strike. In this rule set,
Yeah, it's very much so. Yeah, his male Majin was what all the eyes were on at first. Very interesting gimmick, but the Namekian, you just can't compete with it, dude. It's just very strong options, very well built, and very solid all around.
what do people have to look
And-
forward to
Yeah.
in terms of future tournaments on this channel and from this Discord?
Yeah, and next week we should be having the mixed tournament between CACs and Cast. It will have an updated rule set, especially considering the results of this tournament in regards of super skills, and it will be for deciding who will be the people available to be chosen for the crew battle that will be taking place on the 24th for the 5th anniversary of the universe. Felix, of course, winning the tournament right now, be one of the captains, as well as TOURNEY, the other captain, the leading champion previously for both kinds of tournaments. And it should be all new kind of tournament, very exciting. Hope to see you all there.
And where can people find this Discord where we host these tournaments?
Oh yeah, just a minute. I did not have a link on hand, so here you go. Everyone who's interested in tournaments, either to watch, either to participate, please join up the server, and I hope to see you all there. See you at the next week with more tournaments on the Tenkaichi Budokai Discord. Thank you very much for coming.
Peace!